All right, we're live. We're recording this time too. Uh, yeah. Wow. All right, so Discord is going to be up for anybody that wants it. Throw that there, and then a little bit of music going. All right. So, first disclaimer, I guess. Last week we did do an episode. We did episode 11. However, we had a few pre-stream problems, and I had to stop recording initially. And then once I started streaming again, I forgot to hit the record button. So episode 11 did not get recorded. Luckily, there wasn't too much story or anything that got missed. So I guess we'll just go into the recap now. You guys started out on the same trail right after you talked with the what was he? He was a traveling merchant from Roeb. He had left off the path, and then you guys continued on with Sir Luxlum on all the horses. You rode for another hour or so, and then you heard a faint yell in the distance. You couldn't tell exactly what it was saying, but you could tell that they were somewhat distressed, not necessarily in trouble, but needing help. So you guys decided to make your way up there. I believe we had Hagen and Max decide to get off the horse and stealth up. Just to make sure, they could find, oh, hold on. I'm stupid. I'm going into that guy's stuff. No, you found the camp. Not the dude. You didn't hear anybody yelling. You found the camp. Yeah, so we had Max and Hagen stealth up to the camp to see whether or not they could see anybody inside the camp. Looking around the camp, they didn't really see anybody. It looked to be abandoned, and then once they got a little bit closer enough to where they could actually make out details, they did find out that the camp looked like there was blood everywhere. A few of the tents ripped apart, as well as the camp was pretty much just trashed at this point. All of the rest of you moved up and found the camp, once again just completely in shambles. You started doing a little bit of investigation, trying to figure out what had happened. I believe that's when, Max, you got a journal that kind of detailed the happenings around the camp before whatever this gruesome act was. No one else really got that information, but as you looked around, you saw a few human footprints, a few wolf footprints as well. You kind of just, used context to determine that this was a group of probably hunters, as there was a dead elk hanging up from the tree, and they were attacked by a group of wolves the night before or the early morning before. So you guys decided to, instead of staying at that camp, you decided to push forward a little bit longer. I believe it was about another 45 minutes until dark started coming in. You made your way, you guys were on the horses going pretty quickly, so you made your way about a mile to a mile and a half away from that camp, where the wolves had seemingly attacked. You went ahead and set up your camp, and then decided to take watch shifts. I believe Amara took the first watch, as her and Thaldak rolled over a giant boulder next to the camp to have as a little bit of a watch stone or whatever. Amara took the first watch, nothing really seemed to happen. Max took the second watch, and Max was sitting there shooting some arrows, and as he was shooting the arrows, he was casting his light ability on the arrows, so he would scatter them around, making a little bit of an illuminated perimeter around your guys' camp. It was at that time, though, that Max did hear something, a crack of wood over his back shoulder. Turning around to look, he saw some eyes darting in and out of the woods, a couple pair. He promptly yelled for all of you to wake up, and as you all made your way outside, backing up, all of you in a semicircle around the fire itself with your backs to the fire in the center of camp, looking out towards the surrounding area. At that time, a couple of wolves came out. Actually, it was 3 wolves came out and started to attack the group. You guys started to have a little bit of a battle with them, and then a very large frost wolf or snow wolf made his presence known. He was seemingly unseen, obviously the leader of the pack, 2 to 3 times the size of the other dire wolves. Snow white coat with a very frosty blue eyes and some frost coming out of his mouth as well. Fighting with him, pretty hard encounter. He had a frost breath that dealt quite a bit of damage to a few of you guys. I know a few of you got pretty low, but nonetheless, pretty much bested the wolves. And as the snow wolf died, his essence or his spirit seemed to almost leave his body. As the body was laying there, it kind of disappeared and formed into snow and ice itself as it flew off into the distance, carried by the wind. You guys decided to go ahead and finish off your night's rest, as there were a few of you that still had not had a night's rest at that time. I believe it was Amara and Max that stayed up for the rest of the night watching, making sure that nothing else came back. Rest of the night uneventful. You all woke up in your newly made camp with Amara and Max sitting outside. Luxelum woke up before everybody else, other than Amara and Max, obviously, and started to cook up some of the elk. You all came out. Everyone had a nice breakfast that morning, and you all decided to start heading out towards your destination. Luxelum, as you guys were riding, he informed you a little bit more on the backstory of the Arakocra themselves, as well as the city of Adrilla, and just giving you a little bit of history and a little bit of lore into their culture. That's pretty much where we left off. You guys were riding through the forest. It was getting a little bit more dense as you were riding through, towards the base of the northwest mountain range of the Whispering Peaks, following the stone tablets. The stone tablets clues to apparently the lost city of the Adrilla, or excuse me, of the Arakocra Adrilla. So, you guys are riding through the forest right now. Let me see, find my notes. So, as you guys woke up, had your breakfast, and made your way out, you continue to travel for a couple hours or so. The forest seems to grow a little bit more dense, closer to the base of these Whispering Peaks. Trees litter the landscape. It's a little hard to see more than maybe 20 to 30 foot ahead of all of you. With every step, you grow a little bit more and more tired as your feet, we've already done this. You guys are riding the horses. The horses are becoming a little bit more tired. You can definitely tell that it's wearing on them, just this really thick 2 foot snow or so, 2.5 foot snow. As they're pushing in, especially with the weight of 2 people on each horse, the horses are definitely moving at a much slower pace than normal. So you guys are a little bit more off the path itself as you were coming from Roresh. It was a really proper path as you made your way outside of the city, but as you guys have continued further and further into this forest down at the base of the Whispering Peaks, the trail has become a lot more loose as time has went on. You can definitely see there's still trees around you that have been cut down to make a little bit of a headway through this really dense forest. You can see a few bigger stumps around your area, but as far as a path itself, cobbled path or something like that, it's pretty much just forest floor and snow at this point. There's no really cobbled path or anything like that. So you guys are hoofing it through the brush itself. So you guys are pushing on. Anything you guys are doing? Anything you want to talk about? Any questions for Luxelum? Or you can just push on.
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
Man,
Yeah,
you guys
as
are
usual,
quiet
Lee
as hell.
is quiet.
Okay. No problem. I ain't gonna force you to talk if you don't want to talk. So as you
kind of napping as I ride a little bit.
aren't you leading the horse? You're just
Yeah.
hoping just all follows the rest.
Yeah. I figure he's smart enough to keep on track with people.
Yeah, that's fine. Most, the other 2 horses will take the lead, and as horses do, they kind of go into a little bit of a pack mentality, and just almost follows the rest without needing any guidance from you.
I don't know.
What were
I
you saying?
feel like Gestal should be as much of a dick as Max is.
No, Gestal is the pure part of me.
Just Saul's the one that keeps him grounded. Amara, what were you gonna say?
Oh, what?
Were you gonna say something?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, aren't I behind Max?
Yes, you and Max are riding together.
Okay, if you're, dozing off, I'm just going to kind of, push your head up as you fall, just kind of, and put it back into place, and, eyes on the road.
So it's just nodding off, just fixing your...
All right, so you guys are continuing through on horseback in this dense forest. Everyone go ahead and roll me perception checks. Max, you're dozing off. Roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
Aw, yeah. Got an
13.
8.
Ooh, that's a wonderful 8.
Natural 20.
Oh, there we
15.
go.
Come on.
Okay. So I'm getting a little bit of feedback. Amara, you might try muting your mic.
I think it's coming from Chris, actually.
I don't know who it's coming from.
That better?
Yeah, it's better now. Amara, unmute your mic real quick. Hello?
Testing? Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gone now. So as you're all riding, Hagen, you're actually the only one that is really keeping a vigilant eye out. Everyone else is, just looking around at the beautiful scenery and stuff like that. White snowscape over these forests. You notice a little bit of movement from one of the trees up ahead.
I nudge Thar'dia with my elbow and point, and hold up my hand to stop to everybody else.
All right, Max, are you stopping? Luxem's gonna stop.
Do I actually see his hand?
Yeah, you see him. I mean, you're dozing
Okay,
off, but
yeah.
you still see him. He's leading in the front of the pack.
Yeah, I'll start to actually wake up now that he.
Okay, so Luxlem's holding at the second behind Thar'dia and Hagen, and then we have Max holding up behind that. So Hagen let I was about to say you let Thar'dia know.
How far is the tree from us? Where I've seen the movement.
Yeah, as you guys were riding your horses through this forest, you noticed the movement probably somewhere about 60 to 70 foot ahead, off to the right-hand side of your current path, a little bit even further off the beaten path. And it was just, you noticed a little bit of movement up in one of the trees.
Up in one of the trees?
Yeah. You just saw a little bit of movement from one of the branches. Doesn't really seem to be too much of a breeze or anything right now that would be causing too much movement from the trees.
I'm gonna jump off the horse and stealth and start making my way over there.
Okay. What's everybody else doing at this time?
I'll follow him.
Are you stealthing?
Yep.
All right, both of you guys roll me stealth checks. What are you other three doing?
I'm just gonna get my bow out.
Okay, so you're staying back about the 60 or 70 foot?
Yeah,
24.
staying with the horses.
Okay,
21.
21, okay. So as you guys start stealthing forward, trying to stay within the dense undergrowth and bushes and stuff like that that this forest has, you start moving up a little bit further and closer towards this tree. Go ahead and as you guys are walking up, making sure you're keeping an eyesight on that same tree, both Thaldak and Hagen, go ahead and roll me another perception check.
That's a 6.
21.
All right, Hagen, you pick up once again as the movement had settled initially after you first saw it. It's probably been about 30 to 45 seconds now. And once again, you see one of those branches up on that tree just swaying up and down just a little bit. I mean, there is a little bit of movement from these branches, from all the branches and the different trees around here. However, this one just seems a little bit more pronounced than you would say the wind would be doing.
How big is the branch?
I mean, this is a very big tree. It's probably, the tree itself, 60, 65 foot tall, giant pine or cedar, evergreen. And, I mean, the branch itself is probably at least 2.5 foot or not 2.5 foot. But yeah, diameter complete across, not radius, but about 2.5 foot in diameter. So, I mean, it's a hefty branch, and you can definitely see it bouncing up and down slightly.
How far are we now?
At this point, you guys are probably about 35 foot away, moved up about half the distance to where it was. You still don't really see too much in the tree. I mean, there are dense branches that swirl past each other and kind of cloud any kind of visibility you would have up there. But you did see that movement once more, and it's kind of settled at this point once again to not really moving as much.
Gonna keep walking forward. I gotta see what the hell this thing is.
Okay. So you start walking up towards the tree, and you get...
Hold on. I want to ready a bow and an arrow.
Okay, so you have a bow and arrow ready? As you're walking up, so you're just walking up, bow drawn, waiting for whatever might be up in this tree?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you start making your way up, Thaldak, are you staying back, or are you pushing up with him?
Now I'll go with him.
Right, so you start moving your way up as well. Both you can hear the foot crunches in the snow, just as the rest of the forest here is just dead silent right now. Even though you're both being pretty quiet, I mean, you can definitely hear these footsteps pretty pronounced, at least in your area. As you start making your way forward, you have your bone draw looking up towards the tree. You move up, to about 15 foot. Still don't really see much. A little bit more of a sway to that branch. move up to about 10 foot where you saw that branch moving. And I'm going to need both of you guys to roll me dexterity saving throws.
21. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's a 17.
17?
That's
Yeah.
a 14 for me.
All right. So, Hagen, as you have your bone drawn looking up in this tree, you see the branch itself raise up and come slam down onto the ground right at your area. You duck out of the way as quick as you can. Thar'dia, you get hit right in the face by this branch. And you take...
We're fighting the fucking Whomping Willow.
That's just what I was thinking.
You take 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Baby
Okay.
business.
And as you take this damage, you can see now this is not an ordinary tree. You look up in the tree itself, you can see its full form now, standing 65 foot tall. You can see what seems to be some kind of face that sits on top of the tree. Its roots pull up from the ground, dragging snow and dirt along with them. You can see it starts to carve a trench into the ground as it slowly moves and grumbles towards your area. It lets out a giant rumbling, cracking yell. And I need both of you guys to roll me initiative. The rest of you are about 60 foot back, just now seeing this branch slam down. And you can start moving
Can I
up
roll
as well.
Initiative too. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
let's
in
just go ahead and get initiative out the way.
All
Got
right.
a 9.
Okay, so everybody, hold on, just hold your initiatives real quick. Hold on. Tree. We got... Max, Amara, Lee, and Luxalum. Okay, so hold on. Initiative. All right. Hold on, let me roll for Luxalum real quick. Let's see. Oh, wow. Luxalum. Okay, so 25 to 20?
22.
22? Okay. 15 to 20?
I got 16.
16 for... Oh, hold on. I didn't even roll for the damn tree. I'm bad at this game. Oh,
I don't like that a tree has initiative, though.
he does.
About that, that's just wrong.
It is wrong. It's very wrong. So then we got Max there. 10 to 15?
11.
11?
12.
Okay, so we got Thaldak and then Amara. And then Hagen, what were you?
9.
9?
Since I had that action ready, though, do I get to go ahead and...
Yeah, we'll say since you already had it drawn, you rolled out of the way, and you can release the arrow as it slammed down onto Thaldak. So go ahead and roll an attack with that, and then we'll start initiative.
That's 17 to hit.
17 to hit. That does hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
That's not going to be sneak attack or anything, is it?
Yeah, Thaldak would be there within 5 foot, so that would be sneak attack.
Oh shit, I need another d6.
All the d6s.
That's horrible. 4.
4?
Damage. Yeah.
Hold on, so your d4, 2d6, and then
Okay,
your and then plus your modifiers.
I forgot to add my modifier.
Okay.
8.
So 8 damage.
Okay.
That's a little better. I was about to say something sounded
Yeah.
wrong. So 8 damage. What's okay? Ooh. Okay. So minus 8. That would be. Okay. Cool. So actually, hold on. I'm gonna move that down here. So we'll say that. Okay. So as you go ahead and release the arrow, it shatters into some of the bark. Some of the bark shatters off and falls down to the snow. Honestly, not seeming to do too much damage. This is a giant fucking tree coming at you guys. And with that, we're going to start initiative. And top of the round, we have Lee. Holy shit, Lee. I think it's the first time you've ever had
Hey.
tops.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So would you consider it an action for me to take out a torch and light it?
What do you have to light it?
I have a flint and steel.
A
Yeah.
Zippo.
Speed
Zippo.
of his kit.
Yeah, I was about to say, with any, without any like magical something you could do really quickly, I would say it's probably gonna be an action because you're gonna have to grab the flint and steel, try to spark and everything like that.
If you want to flame this tree, I got it.
Hey man, Lee's just thinking on his feet.
Hey,
Right
it's a
now.
good thought, man. Fire and
There's a
wood that
tree.
burn.
Yeah. Yes, let's go ahead and light up a torch.
Okay. So you light up your torch with your action. No problem. Torch takes bonus action.
Wait, let me reread
And
this
just-
because I'm fairly certain I can.
I was about to say
I-
you still have movement too, because you're about 60 foot away, 60, 65 foot away.
Yeah, and if my key works the way I think it does,
Mm-hmm.
I can spend a key and get there this turn.
Oh yeah, that wind ability, right?
Want to double check? Yeah, step of the wind. Yeah, so I can make a dash action as a bonus action. All right,
Oh,
so I'll go
nice.
ahead and spend a key
Okay.
and basically just like float across the snow real fast over to it.
Yeah, and so as you do, this encompassing wind just starts swirling around your body, and you just take off across the snow, not even leaving footprints, and just at breakneck speed, inhuman speed, and you move all the way up to him. You get in melee combat with him.
All right.
So you are now definitely set for your next turn. Man, key's awesome, man. Fucking dash
Oh,
and
yeah.
bonus action, that's awesome. All right, so that was your action, bonus action, and movement. So other than that, next up we have Luxilum, rolling big. Luxilum, well, I don't think he has any ranged. Oh, no, actually, you know what? He does. Give me one time.
Couple rocks
Please hold
to throw
for
at it.
professionalism.
You have rocks.
Gotta bring up something here. Nope, that's the wrong thing. That's the right one.
Didn't Thar'dia have a chain on his?
Yes, Chain of Returning
Axe
on
at
his
one
great
point.
axe. He still does.
Okay.
Let's see. Luxilum is going to use a magic missile spell at this
Oh
tree.
shit.
Yeah.
He knows
Uh,
spell.
Automatic hit.
Yeah, this is an automatic hit. Deals 1d4 plus 1 force damage. Alright, so he's going to shoot all three of them at the tree. So that is... Ooh. And it's three of them, correct? Yep,
Yeah, I
three.
believe. Yeah.
Pretty nice. Luxilum, as he holds out, he just says, "Don't worry, I have your back." And he throws out his hand, and you see these purplish arcane missiles shoot out of his hands, and just sinking into this tree, dealing actually 13 damage. Not too
Nice.
shabby.
Not
yeah.
bad.
Nice.
No. So that is okay. And with that, he's going to use his full movement. No bonus action, but he is going to use his full movement to move up halfway, about 35 foot, and get ready to try to get in melee combat with this guy. So next up, we have Max. Max, you are about 60 foot away, 65 foot away. You see all of this happening. What are you doing?
I'm gonna stay on my horse, and
Okay.
I am going to use my bonus action to hex the tree.
Okay. What's the range on it? 120, I would assume?
The range is 90.
Oh, no. Okay, you're good. Okay.
And then,
What's the disadvantage
So-
you give him?
probably strength. Yeah, sure. Let's go with strength.
And that is ability checks, right?
Yeah, just ability checks. And then I'm going to use my circlet of blasting.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Roll it up. 3 attacks.
Fire all three of them. So we have a 17,
That hits.
an 8,
That does not hit.
and another 17.
That will hit as well. 2 of them hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
All right. 19 damage. 6 of it is necrotic. The other 13 is fire.
Fire. So 13 is fire.
Yeah.
Okay. And 6 necrotic.
Yep.
As you release these scorching rays into the tree, you see that the fire honestly doesn't spread as much as you thought it would. When hit, you thinking that a tree should burn, doesn't honestly seem to do as much damage. But nonetheless, you did hit him, and that will be that. So bonus action was the hex. You want any movement on Gestal, or are you staying where you're at?
I will ride forward a little bit just so that Amara can hop off a little bit closer.
All right, so about halfway then?
Yeah.
About 30 feet away? Okay, so you ride
Yeah.
up right next to Luxulum with Amara in tow. And that will be your turn. So next up, we have the tree's turn. Let's see what's he gonna do. He's going to make a multi-attack at Thar'dia here. He's going to slam down on you with with 2 giant tree limbs and just try to pummel you. So he's going to make that. That's cocked. That'll be a 15 to hit.
Hits.
And yeah, 20 to hit.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. You take... where is it? There it is. So that's 11 damage, 11 bludgeoning damage from both of these as they slam down into you.
Yep.
And you are now considered grappled. As both of these slam down onto you, vines and roots start shooting off of them and start grabbing all over your body, and you are now considered grappled. At the start of your turn, you can make me a escape roll to try to get out of the grapple.
Gotcha.
And so that's going to be his turn. With that, we are now to... Oh shit, I did that out of order. That's fine. We're now to Thar'dia. I got Thar'dia, which is a T, and so is the tree. Sorry.
Gotcha.
All right, but we're now to you. So you can go ahead and make me... You are engulfed at the moment, or not engulfed. You're engulfed like in vines and stuff like that. So go ahead and roll me if you want, or you can just stand there. You're still in melee combat. You can still just smack him, but you're considered grappled, meaning you can't move at this point.
The tree
Gotcha.
does have a disadvantage on its grapple checks to maintain the grapple.
The tree doesn't make a grapple check. It's a DC for the person to save.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Not strength to be strength.
No, it's not strength based strength. It's just a DC you'd have to meet. So, I mean, you are still within melee combat. You can just sit there and swing, or if you want to try to bust out, that will be your action. It's up to you.
Oh, then fuck that. I'm just gonna swing. Gonna
Okay, yeah.
go ahead and go into a regular rage.
All right, so you bust into a rage, muscles rippling with giant strength, and casting Great Axe.
Of course.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
That is a 14 to hit.
14 does not hit, excuse me.
Okay.
Bonus action? Oh, bonus action was rage. So
Yep.
that is your turn. So you're just standing there kind of rooted in place. With that, we are now to Amara.
Okay. Question.
Yep.
As Max is like riding over on the horse, is it
Right.
okay, like, as I am on the horse? Can I make like a check on religion about the tree?
To ascertain what?
Just to see like exactly, I guess, like what it is, if it's spiritual in any way.
Okay, you definitely can. I would say that would be your bonus action. As you're
Okay.
riding up. I mean, well, no, as you were riding up with Max, okay, I could see that. You're just making a check as you guys are going towards it. So that's fine. Go ahead and roll me a religion check.
Alrighty. So that is going to be a 15.
15? You gain... I mean, you ascertain it's not like a evil spirit of any by any means. It is definitely similar to the white wolf that you guys face, a very old nature spirit that resides within this forest. Probably been here a few hundred years at least. So it's a very old spirit that has kind of taken on form, but it's nothing that would be considered evil. You guys have just walked into its home essentially, and it's defending its home.
Oh no. Okay. I would like to jump off the horse.
Okay.
And go ahead and run forward. Like, how much is it now?
You're about 30 foot away.
Okay, I would like to use like my full action to run at least like pretty close to it.
Well, I'm assuming your speed's 30, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you can get all the way up to it without an action. That's just your movement.
Mhm.
All right. So you
Okay.
move on up. You still have your action and bonus action.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Can I just like look at everyone and just kind of like yell like it's defending itself?
You want that to be your action? You're not wanting to swing at it?
Hmm.
You could hold your action.
You could hold your action in case it shows any more aggression if everyone stopped, if you wanted to.
It's true. I mean, I want to see if I can like get the tree's attention in a way.
Okay. What do you say to it as you run up?
I would like to say, halt, please. We do not mean to disturb you.
Okay. So you run up and say that. You don't notice any reaction from the tree whatsoever.
Root tree. Okay.
I was just wondering if trees can speak common or
He
not.
can't speak common. He can't speak common whatsoever.
Fair.
I had to look at it to make sure. Well, yeah. So you still have a bonus action? Anything?
I'm just gonna look at everybody and kind of like shrug and then go, I tried, and then like take out my like long sword.
All right. So ready for next round's attack. So that's gonna be your action. Trying diplomacy on a tree. Doesn't get too far all the time. We'll see. So that's gonna be it for your turn. The tree would go next, but he's already gone because I'm a bad DM. So we are now to Hagen. Hagen, you are within. You're a little bit outside of melee range as you did roll back. You're about 10 foot away. Which currently with your short bow out and readied. You can run up or you can stay back with the short bow. It's just up to you. You would still get sneak attack with the short bow.
I'm gonna drop that short bow. Like
Okay.
just drop it in the snow for now.
Cool.
And I'm gonna grab one of my flask of oil.
Oh,
My
okay.
3 gallons of oil you gave me.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
And I'm just gonna use all my movement to run around the tree. Just
Are you
Dousing it.
splashing it on the tree or just around? Okay.
yeah,
So you
the whole
you
thing going
Alright.
all over.
a full gallon. So you run around and you just start throwing this oil all over this tree. It just starts, slowly like molasses running down and coating this tree's bark in this very dark oil. I would say that would be your action. You still have a bonus action, and you could light it up next round if you wanted to. Or Lee, do you still have your torch out?
I still have the torch out.
Yeah, Lee.
Action is to use the foliage, the snow and mist to hide.
Okay, yeah, snow is coming down right now. So because you're only about 10 foot away, you still have about 20 foot of movement. As you douse or throw all this oil onto the tree, you then step back out of its presence and use your bonus action to go ahead and hide. Roll me a stealth check.
I'm just
Do I have
imagining
to
him like
since the mask of the
diving
hidden
into
thing?
the
Yeah,
snow.
it just allows you to actually use the hide.
18 plus 8.
Well, hold on, I think it has.
It says can hide when slightly obscured by rain, foliage, or snow.
Yeah,
mist,
so what
etc.
that allows you is usually you can't hide if there's nothing to hide behind, but if you have mist or something, you can
Oh,
use
okay.
that. So 18 plus 8, that's what, 26?
20.
Yeah,
26.
damn, that's pretty hot. So you're pretty stealthy. So you throw the oil up on the tree, pop back into the snow, and go stealth behind it. Lee and Thar'dia, you were both pretty close. Amara as well. You see Hagen just come out of nowhere and start throwing oil on this tree, and then just fade into the distance into the snow, and he's gone. You don't see him nowhere else.
Hold up a time.
And Lee, you're sitting there holding a torch, feeling pretty good about your next move.
Yeah.
With that, we are now top of the round to Lee. Lee, what are you gonna do, buddy?
I'm gonna light that oil,
All right. So
but also I
also-
want to jump up into the tree branches.
with it lighting it.
Yeah, I want to try and light the leaves as best as I can up there.
All right, so we'll say you run, jump up, start climbing the tree, start using the torch to light as you go up. You make your way up probably about, we'll say 10 foot or so, as it is a little bit harder to climb than it is to move across the ground. Make it up about 10 foot, and you start trying to light branches and stuff on fire. Go ahead and roll me 2d6 just for the lighting of the branches. Just as kind of an improvised weapon.
That's the other d6.
And the oil will take effect on Hagen's turn.
7 total.
7? That's not bad. So once again, similar to Max, as you do light up these leaves, it does some damage, but for a tree, you would think it would do more. It's not, though.
Yeah.
But still, that oil's probably going to put a hefty price on that. So the oil's just now starting to take hold. It is a little bit slower moving, as you know, it's not gasoline, it's just straight oil. But it is starting to light up, and definitely going to start taking some damage over time from that oil. So you are now about 10 foot up in a tree that's just now starting to become engulfed in flames. Bonus action? You want to punch the tree?
I was thinking about it, but I can't with any of my.
Oh, you can't. Damn.
Because I didn't do an attack, right? So.
Well, I would say lighting the leaves is an attack. You did damage to it.
Okay.
So you would have your
So I
bonus
guess
action
I
to do
could
it.
just. Yeah, after I do that, I basically like seeing as the fire is not really that effective, really.
Right.
I just like drop the torch and with that same hand just punch the tree. Because what else am I gonna do up here?
All right, so you just run back and just punch the shit out of the tree. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
9, 11, 12, 13, 14.
14 unfortunately misses. As you're sitting up in this tree, it is moving, and the branches themselves are moving, trying to pull you off of it. And you go to hit it, and one of the branches just grabs your hand and tries to throw you off, but you still just stay up in the tree. However, did not connect with any damage on that. It is lit on fire, and it's going to take some damage, but the fire does not seem to be taking the normal damage that it should for a tree. With that, we are now to Luxlim's turn. Luxlim's still in melee combat with this tree. Oh, no, he's not in melee combat yet. He's going to run into melee combat. Let me make sure. Yeah, he's going... No, actually, he's going to use his... wait, hold on. I think that's a bonus action, to tell you the truth. Yep. He's going to use his bonus action to cast Healing Word on Thar'dia.
Nice. This dude's handy.
Yeah, he's picked up a few things.
Blessing.
You're gonna have to scratch out that bad in front of an adventurer.
So you are going
I'll
to
swap
be
it from bad
healed.
to okay.
You're going to be healed for 6 hit points. Not a lot,
Oh,
but
sweet.
something. Yeah. And he's going to use his action to... he's going to run up with his movement after he healed you on his way running up to the tree, and he's going to just take his machete and do a swipe at it. That is going to be a 17 to hit, which does, and it's going to take... Not bad. 6 damage. He just and lets out a giant yell as he swings his machete, cleaving off a nice chunk groove into the bark. Bark falls off and scatters to the snow. The tree's definitely taking some damage. He's not liking where he's at right now, but he's still looking pretty hardy. That is going to be Luxlim's turn. With that, we are now to Max. Max, you are 30 feet away on Gestal, and everyone else is now crowded up around the tree.
I'm a vicious mockery, this tree.
Okay. What are you saying to it?
Tree, you suck. Trees are supposed to do 2 things. Be on fire and stay still. And you can't do either of those right.
Nice. Go ahead and what is it? Wisdom saving?
Yeah, wisdom save.
Let's see how. Oh, he's actually wise.
Weird.
14.
Ah, yeah.
Is that a
13.
save? Oh, holy shit! Nice. Half damage?
No damage.
No damage? Okay, bonus
Nope.
action?
I do not have anything
Eldritch Blast,
to do
don't
on bonus actions. No, Eldritch Blast is an action.
Oh, it's just a cantrip. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so no bonus action for you. That will be that. Next up we have... Or you want to move anymore? You're still 30 foot away, middle of the snow?
Nah, I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay. So we are now up to Thar'dia this time, not the tree, because I'm bad. Still rooted in place, but you're more than happy to go take some swipes at him if you want.
Well, of course I am.
Alright, so go ahead and cast me that Great Axe, bud.
And this one is going to be a Reckless.
Ooh, Reckless, nice. Go ahead and roll it.
That was an 18 and a 1.
18 plus
that's-
6 hits.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I just know it hits.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 damage.
15 damage. Ooh, buddy. Nice. So you pull up the great axe and just slam right into the side of this tree, just trying to chop this motherfucker down. And definitely cleaves in nice and deep. Big chunk of bark comes off. Bonus action?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drink a health potion.
Okay. Go ahead and drink that. 2d4 plus... Right? 2d4 plus 4. No, 2d4 plus 2. My bad.
Mm.
I can't give you guys that much health. Good?
Yep.
Can't move because you are entangled in place, but you're in melee combat, so it doesn't matter. Next up, we have Amara. Amara, you are to the left of Thar'dia at the moment. Now of a melee combat. The tree does not seem to be having any of your diplomacy on hand. He is looking to fight, so what are you doing?
Well, that's rude. Well, if he's looking for a fight, we're gonna fight him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and I would like to use my action to cast Sacred Weapon on my longsword.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay.
And with my movement, does this is gonna sound weird, but like, does the tree have like a thigh gap?
A thigh gap?
That gap, though.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I'll say yeah, sure.
Okay, I would like to like go back just a little bit, and then
Okay.
run and slide underneath it, and
Okay.
have like
Stab it
my
in the balls.
Them tree balls.
up a bit. I mean, I don't know if that would count as an attack, but just to get to the other side mostly.
Okay,
Like
so you're just trying to run all the way through it, essentially, to get to the other
Yeah,
side?
like slide. Yeah,
Yeah,
since it's like
so-
snow.
Yeah, you run back and take off running at the thigh gap of this tree and bust into a slide, and you just, as the snow is real nice and slick, just shoot all the way through and come out and pop out on the other side of the tree. And your action was to do the sacred weapon, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and we'll say bonus action? I mean, that was just your movement. You still have bonus action if you want it.
Let's see. Right now, just quick question.
Mhm.
You said the tree has like a face, right?
Yeah, it has a face up about 45 foot, up towards the top, and it does have, I mean, it's not a very pronounced face, but you can definitely see some bark indentions for eye sockets and a mouth as well. A little bit of a nose protruding.
Okay, so it does have eyes.
Not which, it doesn't have the actual eyeball, but there are sockets. They're just completely dark sockets. You can't see anything in them, but it has what looks to be eyes, yes.
Think
Okay.
Pocahontas or Treebeard.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so would it be okay if I just start kind of like moving towards one of the roots to maybe start climbing up?
Yeah, definitely. So you start getting up onto this root, and we'll say, because you were pretty close to the tree, you only used about 10 foot of your movement, so you still have about 20 foot left, but it is hard to climb. So you start climbing up this tree as well, actually sitting a little bit off to the left side of where Lee is, but about the same height. Both of you are about 10 foot up in this tree, and you're starting to make your way up towards the face. That will be your action, though. And with that, we are now to the tree. And because I'm bad, as of course I'm always bad, after he hits you, Thaldak, with both slams, he was also going to use his engulf on you. So he's going to start the round with that. He engulfs you and while you're grappled, and you are now considered blinded, restrained, and unable to breathe. And you must make a Constitution saving throw.
That's fun.
So give me a Constitution saving throw real quick.
That is a 7.
7. Yeah. So you were that fails the DC. So you are going to take 12 bludgeoning damage, reduced to half because you're raging.
Okay.
And as I said, you are now considered blind, restrained, and suffocating.
Okay.
With that, he's going to... Now, that was because that was supposed to happen last turn after he hit you with both slams. So now he's going to make 2 more slam attacks at... he's going to make some slam attacks at Amara. No, because Amara's climbing up the tree, so the only other one in range would be Luxilum, actually. Luxilum up. So he's going to make 2 slam attacks against Luxilum. I can roll the dice where it doesn't cock. Yeah, that hits. And that does not. So one of these slam attacks hits down on Luxilum. 8, 13, 14 damage to Luxilum. Oof. Oh no, he was up to 30. Okay, so what did I say? 14? So -4 is 3, and then okay. So Luxilum takes one of these slam attacks. As the second one comes down, Luxilum just barely rolls out of the way in time, so he doesn't get hit by both. But dealt quite a bit of damage with that first slam attack. So that is going to be the tree's turn. Well, actually, you know what? He's going to lumber forward as all of you are surrounding him now, and he's going to use his movement, which is only 20 foot. But he's going to use his movement to push towards Max and just stall. So he's about 10 foot away from you now, Max. And as he lumbers forward, you can see he's just like carving this giant trench in the ground as his roots pull up dirt and snow as he walks forward. Since Lee and Amara, you are on him, I'm going to say you're not going to get opportunity attacks because you're moving with him. However, Hagen and Thar'dia, you would get opportunity attacks, as well as Luxilum. So roll opportunity attacks, and he's going towards you, Max. And oh no, wait, hold on, excuse me, Thar'dia, you're restrained. You cannot attack.
Okay.
You're restrained, blind, and suffocating. So that's just Hagen and Luxilum.
Is Thar'dia getting dragged along with the tree?
Yes,
or?
It's like this mound of roots that's encompassing Thar'dia, and as the tree moves, it's getting pulled with the tree.
Okay.
So on opportunity attacks, that's just weapon damage, right?
Yeah, if you hit. What'd you roll for hit?
18.
Yeah, that hits. It's just whatever your weapon damage is. No mods.
2.
2. And Luxilum. Oh, shit.
That would be it. What about attack bonus? Does that add in there?
No, your attack bonus is for your D20 roll to see whether or not you hit.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
Luxilum actually nat 20'd, and he rolls 1d8, and he rolled an 8. So Luxilum hits for 16 damage. That's an opportunity of attack right there. Holy shit. So minus that, so that'd be 1. So as he runs by, Hagen, you do hold on, how much did you do, Hagen, 2?
Yeah, 2.
Okay. So you take one of the short swords and just barely glance it as it runs by. But Luxilum comes out and just swings really wide with the machete and carves deep into the side of this giant tree. Yeah, Luxilum did quite a bit of damage. But the tree did move up 20 feet. Max, now about 10 foot away from you. And that is going to be the rest of its turn. Hagen, we are now to you. You are left 20 foot away from the tree next to Thar'dia. Seeing this... Thar'dia's with him. You're 20 foot away with Luxilum. Everybody else has moved with the tree. So it's just you and Luxilum standing over there. What are you doing?
I'm going to use my movement to get up to the tree. I'm going to attack with my short swords.
Also, I was going to say your oil has kicked in now. It's starting to burn really well. Go ahead and roll me 2d6 fire damage for that, just before your attacks. Thanks to Lee setting it on fire.
Teamwork.
Oh, shit, 10.
Oh, shit, nice. Once again, fire damage doesn't seem to have as much of effect, but it does some. Not too bad. So what's your action and movement and stuff?
My movement's to get back up to the tree.
All right, so you take off sprinting 20 foot over and towards the direction it went. You are now in melee combat with it. What are you doing?
I'm going to attack it with my short swords.
Okay. So go ahead and make me those attack rolls.
That's a critical fail.
First one misses, which would have been the one with sneak attack, so this is offhand, so no sneak attack with it.
2 on the next one.
Okay, so as you're running by,
Fuck that
you
tree.
you kind of stumble over some of the trench left behind, almost falling down, but keeping your way a little bit. But as you stumbled, you did miss both attacks with the swords. You are within 5 feet, but that is your turn, unfortunately. With that, we are now to the top of the round. Lee, you are 10 foot up in this tree. Over to your right-hand side, you can see Amara, about the same distance. She's climbing up towards what you would consider to be the face. You're currently lighting leaves on fire. What are you doing? Oh no, you dropped the torch.
Yeah, I
so-
dropped the torch.
So what are you doing now?
I'm going to jump off the tree,
Okay.
midair, take the staff out, and try to wedge it into the thing that's surrounding Thar'dia.
Okay, yeah, no, definitely. That's awesome. So as you come and jump off this tree and bring down your staff into the middle of this little cocoon of roots that now Thar'dia's currently held into, go ahead and make me an attack roll.
We're looking at 14 again.
14. Since you're not necessarily hitting the tree, I would say it's not really a moving mass. It's just a mass, easier to hit.
Yeah.
So that would hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right. And this one we're looking at 6 damage.
6 damage, nice.
Oh, wait, no more than 6.
Okay, more than 6.
9 damage.
9 damage. That would be that. And so as you bring your staff down into this pile of roots and stuff, you start, wrenching it left and right, trying to open it up somewhat. Thar'dia, you do see a pierce of a staff coming through, very familiar looking staff. And as he starts wedging it back and forth, you can start seeing daylight breaking open. You're no longer considered suffocating. So, oh wait, hold on. And you would have, oh no, because it would just been your first turn. You would have still been holding your breath. You're fine. But you are no longer suffocating, and this pile of roots now has a little bit of light, and looking up through it, you can see Lee's little dwarven body up there just trying to wrench you out of this cocoon.
Nice.
Bonus action, Lee?
Let's try to break it a little bit.
Okay, yeah, so just keep
It's just
going
like
back and forth.
A good stomp. Nope.
Nope.
I rolled a 2.
You
so
go to
that's
stomp
like
it, and
7.
the roots are a little bit slick from the snow, and your foot just skids off the root and doesn't really do any effect. With that is Lee's turn. Unless you want to use any other movement, you got about 20 foot, jump down about 10.
No, I'll just keep working on this route.
Okay, so you're on the route. And with that, it's now up to Luxlim's turn. Seeing he's the only one in the back now, as Hagen has left him, he's going to follow suit. And, hold on. He's got a couple abilities. You know what? He's going to throw another magic missile at this guy. So Luxlim just pulls back, staying where he is, and he launches his hand out. This purplish arcane bolts of energy shoot and connect with the tree. And Luxlim does. That's not a lot. It's a little bit better. 9 damage. So that is. Yep. So Luxlim knocks into this tree. Just doof, doof, doof. Bark starts to fall off, and this tree is definitely looking. He's looking a little rough at this point. He's not looking the best. He's got different multiple. You can see like where the bark has been knocked off some of the green wood, a little bit fresher. Has a little bit of water and moisture on it as opposed to the dry bark. So definitely cut up and looking a little bit worse for wear. But that is going to be Luxlim's turn, and now it is up to Max.
I'm going to ride away a bit on, like, as far as just all will go.
Hold on real quick.
And
Let me just check something.
Typical Max fashion.
Yeah, his reach is
Run
only
the fuck away.
his reach is
I'm
only
a
5
ranged
foot.
character.
His range is only 5 foot with the tree limbs, so you're good to go. So
Cool.
you move away. How far are you moving back?
As far as just all can carry me.
What would that be, like 50 foot, I believe, for a horse?
Yeah, I think it's 50 foot.
All right, so yeah, you move way the fuck back.
Bye.
So you now have about 60 foot in between you and the tree.
And
What are you doing?
then I'm going to yell, "Bet you can't catch me, you ugly face!" And I'm gonna shoot an Eldritch Blast at its head.
All right. So the Eldritch Blast comes out. This just kind of almost divine swirling nature of energy shoots out from your palm and goes to hit this tree. Go ahead and roll it for me.
Okay. 21.
21 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. And that is with hex damage as well. Don't forget about that.
Oh yeah, all about that hex damage.
Yeah.
So 7.
7. Nice. I was expecting more. So
Nope.
yeah.
I don't deal much damage. I'm not level 5 yet.
So Eldritch Blast, as this radiant bolt connects into the side of this tree, deals quite a bit of damage, and you can see that smoky hex that was over the tree kind of coalesce and bite down on the tree itself, dealing a little bit of damage with it. You still have your bonus action. Anything you want to do?
Amara, hit it in the face.
Will do.
Inspiration.
All right, so you yell up to Amara. She gets that little. Are you gonna inspire her with that? Is that a bonus action?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so Amara, you get your 1d6 inspiration, and you can use that on attack rolls, ability checks, or saving throws. That will be the end of Max's turn. With that, we are to Thar'dia. Thar'dia, go ahead and make me a strength saving throw.
Okay. Natural 1.
Okay, so you are still constrained and blinded, or no, you're not. Yeah, you're not blinded anymore because you have light. You're no longer suffocating or blinded, but you are still restrained within this cluster of roots. You have a bonus action. I mean, you got anything you can explain to me as how it would be a bonus action?
Can I reach up to the hole where Lee made and just kind of try to pry it apart?
That would be an action, and just because you are still considered restrained within this, you're just completely tied up. You can't. I mean, you can move your hands a little bit, but not enough to actually grab and pull apart. So wouldn't be able to do that. You're just sitting there then.
Yeah.
All right. That's just sitting there, and with that, we are now to Amara. Amara, you're now 10 foot up in this tree. What are you doing?
Okay, so let's see. So the face is like 40, right?
About 40 foot up, and your climbing speed is half your normal movement, so you can climb about another 15 to 20 foot. What's your movement?
30.
30, yeah, so another 15 foot. So you would get up about 35 foot. You'd be about 10 foot away from the face at that point.
Okay.
You could use your action to dash, like a dash climb, and make it all the way there, but you wouldn't be able to do anything else other than a bonus action once you got there.
Ooh, that's true. I think I was gonna like pull off some like acrobatic stuff, but then I was like, no.
No, I'm not acrobatic.
I'm like athletics, but no. All right, so where I'm at right now, I'm gonna go ahead and are there like any branches like coming off of it since it's like a big tree?
Oh yeah, there's branches all around you.
Okay, then can I go ahead and where I stand, go ahead and pretty much attack right
Okay.
then there?
Yeah, you can go ahead and attack. I mean, the tree's still moving. The branches themselves are moving as it is alive. Go ahead and make an attack. That's fine.
Okay.
I was gonna see if you maybe like an athletics check to hold on, but you're good. You're good. You got enough footing. It's a really big branch you're sitting on.
Oh, cool. Okay. I'm gonna add that 1d6 to that.
Go
because
for it.
that was
Go for it.
awful. To hit, I think it barely hits 17.
17 hits. Go ahead and roll some damage, and that is with the sacred weapon as well. So make sure you add your extra damage for that.
All right, and then you said that the tree's looking pretty like rough,
Yeah,
right?
he's looking bad. I mean, he's not death's door, but he's definitely looking roughed up.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and hit him with a divine smite right now.
Okay.
Down.
Go ahead and hit it up.
All right, and would this tree be categorized as like a spirit or like, I guess like undead in a way?
No, not an undead.
Okay.
For that extra damage.
I know. Yeah.
Gotta
Gotta at
bark.
least ask.
And okay, so that's gonna be a 18.
18? Jeez. The divine smite though. Oh wow. So 18, so minus 1. So that would be minus 10. Okay. So yeah, as you bring your longsword directly into this giant tree, this spark of holy and divine energy just surges through your blade, and you cut through deep, severing a limb itself, a pretty thick limb, probably about a foot in diameter, just completely cutting that limb off of this tree, and it falls down to the ground, no longer moving. Dealt quite a bit of damage to that. Bonus action?
Bonus action, just can I jump up to the next limb?
You've already used your movement, so I'd say no.
Okay. Ooh. I'm gonna go ahead and use my bonus action to do.
Oh no, wait, hold on, you didn't use your movement. So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because you just stayed on the limb you were, and you were just gonna attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you still have movement and bonus action. So if you want to use your bonus action to jump up, maybe get a little bit more. I would say jumping up and using your full movement, you could probably get about 5 foot away from the face. So you're about 40 foot up in the tree now if you wanted to.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
All right, so you're about 40 foot up, 5 more feet, and you'll be right face to face with this tree's face. So that'll be your turn. With that,
That's
we
not
are
going to
now.
be good whenever that tree falls.
She's fine. She's a paladin. So with that, we are now to the tree's turn. Looking around, he's going to. Well, hold on. At the start of his turn, let me see. Yeah, Thar'dia, I need you to make me another Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That is a 15.
15. As you feel these roots trying to constrict around you, they don't seem to have as much mustard as they used to have. He's definitely not nearly as strong as he was when he originally put you in this, and you don't seem to take any damage from him trying to constrict around you. But that is that. So with that, he's now going to make two melee attacks against Hagen. As you did run up in melee combat with him, he's going to swing at you with a couple giant limbs. Oh, that's not good. 11.
It's a miss.
And I think that'll hit 16.
Barely.
Nice. So he's going to slam down on you with one of these giant limbs, and you are going to take 17 points of damage, bludgeoning damage, as this limb. You were a little bit off balance from both of your attacks missing, and you weren't expecting the limb to come down towards you. And the first one just completely misses you outright, but this one definitely connects solid with you right on top of your head. Yeah, and that is going to be his turn. With that, we are now to Hagen. You just got smacked in the head by this tree. What are you doing?
I'm attacking with my short sword.
Go ahead and roll it.
It's an 18 plus my modifier.
18 plus 6, 24.
Yeah,
24 hits. That
Alright,
is sneak
and that's-
attack. Yep.
That's
D4, 2D6 plus mods. no, excuse me.
short sword.
I was about to say, yeah, it's
D6.
3D6 plus mods.
Well, 2 of them are 6s, but I dropped the third one and I can't find it.
You can just
Oh,
roll it.
Yeah, let's
I
just say
found
it's a 6.
Oh shit! It was a 6.
Was it really? Well, all right,
Yeah.
so that's
Fucking
18.
18 damage.
Well, hold on. 18 plus your modifiers. What's your modifiers on your weapon? I think it's like plus 3.
6.
Plus no. Is it plus?
Yeah, damage type 1d6 plus 6.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. So
18, 24.
plus 24. Jesus Christ. Okay, go ahead. And
That's
I'm
a
assuming
fucking
bonus
bug for you.
action is second dagger. 24. My gosh, what is this? Whew.
The second one's going to be 14.
14 unfortunately misses. As you slam the first short sword in, doing a massive blow to this tree, digging in probably 4 to 5 inches into the tree itself. The second one's just a little bit off and does not seem to hit.
I wonder what the odds for that was.
Man, that was 6.
High as fuck.
That's a lot, but
Fuck.
damn, man. Good
You
job.
have to-
And as you sink that sword in, he's looking very bad. But with that, that was bonus action. You still do have movement. Any movement, or are you staying where you're at?
Yeah, I'm gonna move 30 foot away.
All right, he is going to get an opportunity attack against you if you move. You all right with that?
I'll just stay where I'm at.
Okay.
Fuck him.
You're going to stay there. That will be the end of your turn. Top of the round, Lee. You're currently wedging your staff in this cocoon, trying to get Thar'dia out. What are you doing?
I'm going to leave the staff there and keep it wedged open with my foot
Okay.
and take out my axe and try to chip away
Start
at
cutting
it.
through. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me an attack.
That's going to be 15.
15. 15 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
The axe is a d6, I think. We're looking at 8 damage on that.
8 damage, nice. Okay. So you take the axe in, you start chopping through some of these roots that are holding Thar'dia. Thar'dia, the roots now, you have a lot more movement. Go ahead and make me a strength check with advantage to bust out of these, as Leah's gave you a pretty nice hole to get out
The check or saving throw?
of. Strength check. You're trying to actually pull yourself out.
That's a 14.
You go to start prime, but these roots are still just a little bit too much locked in.
Yeah, I rolled an 11 and a 1.
Right.
Shit.
Lee, bonus action, you might be able to get him out with the last one. He's almost out.
Alright. Yeah, we'll just try to punch the roots.
Okay, you just rear back and go ahead and go to punch these roots that Thar'dia in. Go ahead and make the roll.
Fucking hell. 8?
8, no, yeah. Even though it was just the roots, 8 unfortunately does not hit. Snowy roots, man, a little slick from the mud, and it just glances right off, no damage. Damn, I mean, I thought you were gonna get out of that, Thar'dia. With advantage, man? Come on.
I'm rolling shit tonight.
Yeah, apparently. Okay, so you still do have movement if you're wanting to move, Lee.
I mean, the root cage is severely weakened at this point, right?
Thar'dia's probably getting out on his next turn, yes.
Okay. Then I'll just I'll pick up the staff. So I have axe in one hand, staff in the other.
Gotcha.
And just jump back to the tree.
Okay.
Trying to just get the axe in there so I have a good handhold.
Okay, we'll just say just for flavor, you get it in there, there's no damage taken.
Yeah.
But you do get it stuck in there, you got a nice grip on this tree.
Alright.
Alright, cool. So other than that will be your turn. We have Luxulum. Luxulum is still in melee combat with this tree. He's going to he's just going to take a machete attack against it. There's gonna be a 9, which does not hit. And he's not gonna move, he's gonna stay there in melee combat. And yeah, that's going to be his turn. So with that, we are now to Max. Max, this tree is looking very injured, and you are now about 60 foot away from his current position. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna stay where I am, and I'm gonna shoot him with an Eldritch Blast.
Okay, go ahead and shoot it.
16.
16 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Sweet. Don't fail me now. Alright, 8 damage.
Is that with Hex?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is okay. And you let this Eldritch Blast go. Once again, Holy Divine Bolt slamming into the tree. Bark scatters everywhere as it does. The tree, a few limbs actually fall off, a few of the smaller ones. It's looking pretty bad at this point. Bonus action? Movement?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So that'll be Max's turn. With that, we are now to Thar'dia. Thar'dia, give me a strength check, man, with advantage. Come on. Bust on
Trying
out
to
of
get
those
you out of
roots.
that root cage.
You can do
That's
it.
a 19.
19 gets you out. As you reach up, you grab some roots and just in a rage, just tear them completely off. The rest of the roots just almost fall limp and scatter to your feet. You are free to take your actions as you please.
Sweet. I'm casting Great Axe at this motherfucker. I'm chopping this bitch down.
All right, let's go for it, man. Go ahead and roll it.
Thar'dia the lumberjack.
I'm using luck because that was a 2.
Okay, that's first luck of the day.
That is a 15 to hit.
15 just barely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Fucking cry.
Doesn't have to be a lot. Let's do it, man. Get your vengeance.
13 damage.
13 damage, all right. How do you want to do this?
Casual 13.
I'm fucking chopping, and I'm keeping chopping, and chopping, and chopping.
Okay. So Thar'dia, you go in with this axe as you just built up all this rage built up. You haven't been able to do anything for so long, not able to help out any of your allies. You come out into a rage and just start chopping 1, 2, 3, just start going with this axe, and as you can see, it starts leaning to the side, and you just start going into a frenzy almost, and just chopping this tree down. With the last chop that comes through, the tree and lands onto the ground with a giant thud. Amara, I need you to make me a dex
Can I
saving
take
throw.
a reaction to try to catch Amara?
No, the tree was 60 foot tall. Where she was up, about 45 foot. It'd be
Gotcha.
45 foot away from you.
So I still haven't used my movement.
Featherfall.
Hey,
Yes.
Max, you're gonna go with Featherfall?
Yeah, I think so. If I'm in range.
And is that a cantrip or a spell, and you get the slot for it?
Yeah, it's a first level spell, and it's a reaction within 60 feet.
Yep, you're within range. So as this tree starts falling down, you can see Amara just almost falling down with the tree, about to impact in the ground and take a lot of damage. Amara, you at this point feel yourself almost go weightless for a second and start slowly drifting down out of the sky, about 40 foot up. As you touch down, you land into the tree itself with all the limbs and stuff around. The tree is no longer showing any signs of movement, and Amara is safely to the ground without taking any damage, and you guys have bested the tree. So,
Thank you.
nice. Good job, guys.
I fucking hate trees.
Is that your new
oddly
thing?
aggressive for
Yeah, I'm changing it from birds in my character sheet to trees.
Like,
Alright.
I
Thar'dia, eat your tree meat.
yeah, eat your tree wood.
I'm taking it by the tree. 100%.
Okay, so you lean down, take a bite of the tree. You take 3 piercing damage as a splinter shoots through the top of your mouth. Half because you're raging, so half to 1
Worth it.
damage. And nice cedary bark, good taste in your mouth. Tastes great.
Nice.
Yummy.
So you guys defeated the tree. With that, we are going to go ahead and take our bio for the night. We'll be back here in about 10 minutes or so about 20 past the hour, a little bit after, 22 past the hour. So we will see you guys then. Thanks for anybody that is watching, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. 1. We are back. All right, so awesome, man. Okay, hold on, let me look here. All right, so you have all felled a tree. You're all standing around the fallen corpse. I don't know that it's a tree.
Tree corpse.
Yeah, it's a tree corpse. But you're all standing around this fallen tree. Mara made it safely back to the ground with Max's aid with the feather fall. Thar'dia, you are just standing over this tree. Unfortunately, a little bit unsatisfied. You don't have a blood splatter on you like you normally do. We'll say there's a little bit of sap. You got some sap splatter on you. So yeah, a little bit stickier than blood normally is. But tree is now fallen down.
I cut my hand and rub it on his chest.
There you go.
Make him feel at
There you
home.
go.
You take 1 damage.
Great.
I rub the blood
I'm dead.
across my chest.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm unconscious. What'd you say, Thar'dia?
So I just rub the blood across my chest.
All right, cool. So you got a little bit of blood in there, so they're feeling a little bit better. Tree's now down in front of you. Anybody want to try to get anything off this tree? Harvest anything? Anything else?
Yeah, I want to take one of my short swords and like hack off a piece of the trunk. Pretty good size piece, you know.
Okay, yeah, no problem. You start, just carving through, getting off some of this wood. Nice big chunk of wood for you. Just go ahead and put that in your pack. Anybody else looking for anything?
I'm still just swinging my axe at it.
Okay, so you're just right there at the base, just splinters of wood just flying out every chop, just going ape shit on this tree at the moment.
I want to try to salvage building materials out of it, essentially, and then
what are you
put
looking
them into
for?
the bag of holding.
Yeah, what are you looking for as far as building materials? Are you talking like 2x4s? Because if so, it's gonna take a while.
Not necessarily 2x4s, just I want to get it into manageable pieces where if I bring it into somewhere, it can get refined down to 2x4s or whatever.
Yeah, are you guys wanting to take this time as your short rest?
I need a short rest. So
Yeah,
To roll some hit dice. So we'll say that's fine. You guys wait here about 35, 40 minutes. Max, you're sitting there steadily chopping some wood and trying to get everything into manageable size. As far as carrying it in your pack itself, if you're looking for actually long pieces of wood, it's not going to be able to work. You could put it in the bag of holding, though.
Yeah, that's where I was going to put it.
Okay. So we'll just say you get... I don't even know how to equate that. You get... 6 big pieces of lumber that could probably be refined into 2 or 3 2x4s or something equivalent each. So quite a bit of wood. We'll probably say that weighs about 50 or 60 pounds of wood that you get in your bag. Amara, Lee, you guys looking for anything?
Yeah. So can I look around the tree and just pick up little twigs and leaves that are scattered around?
Yep, you start grabbing some of the twigs, some of the smaller branches, and pulling those off. And it is, like I said, it is a evergreen tree. Think of a cedar or a pine, so it kind of has the needly green leaves on them. You start getting some of the more flexible green twigs and stuff like that off the tree. Start picking those up. You get a nice big bundle of those.
All right, I would like to take while we're resting. Can I just make matching bracelets for us, please?
Yeah, no problem. You go ahead and start just tying them, tying the green branches together or twigs or whatever, and start making them into bracelets and whatever else you might want. So we'll say within your 35, 40 minutes of rest time, that's what you're doing. Lee, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for a good sized branch that I could feasibly make a staff out of.
Okay, yeah,
Right.
this is a huge tree. It's got branches of all sizes. You can pick your poison as far as how long, how thick you want the branch. So, however you want it, you can easily find it on this tree. So you can get that and chopped off and start working on that as you're resting if you want.
Yeah.
So you want to go ahead and
That's
start
what I'd
working
like
on
to
it
do.
now?
Right now I need to meditate to get those key points
Okay.
back.
All right, so you'll use your
So I just
short rest
get
to
the
meditate.
stick and then meditate up.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll just say you tie it off onto your pack behind you. Definitely not a usable staff at the moment, but with some work and time, you can make it into a nice staff.
Also, everyone gains an extra D6 of hit points back.
All right,
From
Song of
my
Rest.
Song of Rest.
Yep, so everyone, when you're rolling hit dice, go ahead and roll an extra 1d6.
Sweet, man.
Sir Luxon looks over and he says, if there's anybody that's still a little bit too much injured, I do have a few healing spells that I could cast if any of you might need any.
That amulet I got that lets me double my hit dice.
Oh, I
that's
forgot about
fucking
that.
awesome.
Yeah, that's really good, man.
I only had to
Hagen is
spend one
fucking-
hit die to get fucking all my
Hagen
health
is
back.
magicked up over there.
He is, dude. Got the
I
cloak of
used to
Elvenkind,
be
got the
one that
parry
was
app.
magicked up.
I have
Alright.
no magic spells, but
Get some magic items, though.
yeah.
All right, so anything else you guys are doing during this short rest, or just rolling your hit dice, taking a rest, and then moving on?
Can I hand out the bracelets?
Yeah, so you go around and did you just make bracelets or necklaces? What all did you make? Just bracelets?
Yeah, they're like bracelets, but I'm like imagining that like since she's like guesstimating how big everybody's wrist is, so like
Okay.
probably some like bigger than the others. But she's gonna go around and be like, this signifies that we're all friends here and that we're the hope of Thar'dia.
We just got friendship bracelets.
You got friendship bracelets, yo. And we'll say that on these bracelets, you kind of artfully crafted and like cut off a few of like the needly thorns and leaves to make a little bit of like of a pattern on each bracelet. All looking a little bit better than just a little bit of a twig wrapped around the hand. It looks a little bit more artfully crafted than that. And you can go ahead and pass those out to everybody. So there you go. So everybody, you can write down that you have a friendship bracelet.
Arts and crafts with Amara.
Yeah, there you go.
Can I walk over and look at this trench this tree was leaving and see kind of like inspect it? I don't know.
Yeah. What are you looking for?
Just to see what it looks like, and I don't know, I just kind of want to make sure it didn't like leave a huge crevice in the ground that looks like a cavern or anything. I just want
Okay.
to look at it.
Yeah, no, you go over. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. Just generally looking over this trench that the tree was carving.
It's a 19 plus whatever. What is it? 19 plus 5. So
24?
24.
Yeah, so looking at it, you don't see any large openings that would alert you to a crevice in the ground of anything, any kind of caverns. But I mean, just looking at it, it is probably about a foot deep to a foot and a half deep, and I mean, you can just see these gnarled roots and stuff growing out of this trench as well. And I mean, there's some snow blotted in there, some mud. I mean, it looks just like pretty much just a normal trench, but it's pretty impressive. You don't see too many trees move around, so.
I wanna dig up a little piece of the root
Okay.
and with some soil and like wrap I don't know, some kind of cloth I have from something. If I have to rip it off something, I will. I want to wrap it around it.
All right, that's fine. I mean, you have some different clothes at
Basically,
your disposal.
I'm taking a clipping of this tree so I can try and grow one later.
Oh wow, that's
So we can
interesting.
get an inch guardian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you actually get a piece of land or something, or you have a little bit of land out in Rush, not much, but you got a little.
Put this
plot
angry
back
ass tree on our front yard to whack
Yeah.
kids as they run by.
Yeah.
there. All right, yeah,
Good
cool,
sparring
man.
partner.
I like it. That's an awesome thing. So I will say, if you're wanting to keep that alive, you will need to at least keep a little bit of water on that from time to time. So just make sure you remember that. Otherwise, 8 episodes from now, when you try to pull it out of your pack, I'm going to say it's dead. So it's up to you.
Snow is water. Snow is
Plus,
water.
I figure maybe if I take it to like an herbalist or maybe I don't know, something, maybe they can extract some of the magic, something from it
Definitely.
or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's high possibility. It's definitely a magical tree. All right. So anything else? Anybody do anything? Are we good to go?
Fuck this tree. Let's go.
Have I sufficiently fucked up this tree yet?
You have carved through a substantial amount of this tree. Like I said, it was probably about 60, 65 foot tall when it first fell. At this point, it's probably about 45 foot tall. So you've went through about 20 foot of
Christ.
tree here. I will say you are just completely fucking exhausted at this point, though.
Okay.
So
Like
Sleep on the
one point of
horse.
exhaustion.
one point of exhaustion, exhausted.
You
Okay.
can sleep on the back of the horse.
You just spent 30 minutes chopping the fuck out of this tree. 30 or 40 minutes. So 1 point of exhaustion for you.
Okay.
And with that, you guys ready to leave out on the horses?
Yeah.
Yep. So
Yep.
everybody mounts up. Mara jumping on the back of Jastal. We got Thaldak on the back of Hagen's horse, which is yet to be named. Hagen, if you want to think of a name, up to you.
I'm still thinking of it. I
Yeah,
want
that's-
something awesome.
You're good. And then Lee jumping on the back of Sir Luxelum's horse.
Black Betty is still up in the air. Just throwing that out
That's
there.
not gonna be it. I hate that fucking song so much.
All right, so you all continue on through this dense forest, keeping an eye out for any more of these horrible trees that might you guys are just a little bit too familiar with at this point.
Next time I see a tree move, we're galloping.
I was gonna say, man, you guys had the option
Don't
to just.
investigate it.
Yeah, you could have just went around this. This never would have happened. You guys wanted to go up and check it out.
I
So
thought
just
it
always
might be
remember.
that fucking druid up in a tree or something. We need
Could've
to
been.
talk to or something, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You're never gonna know what it is unless you go see it. You might miss something
Fucking-
cool, or you might miss something pretty bad like this.
Sneak
That tree
attack.
didn't even have gold.
No gold, nope.
No, but we did get friendship bracelets.
We have
You
friendship
got
bracelets. It's better than gold.
They're so nice. Okay.
At this time, Hagen kind of rides up next to Max and takes 150 of the gold that Luxem gave him and says, "Here's towards the horse payment."
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
There goes a little bit of that debt gone.
That's only
Hagen always
100
repays his
left.
debts.
A
Hagen always
Zimbalar.
pays his debts.
All right, so you all continue on. Like I said, definitely keep an eye out for any more of these horrible trees. Looking around your surrounding area, whites, browns, and greens are pretty much the only colors that catch your eye. Nothing too much out of the ordinary. At this point, where the snow had let up a little bit in the morning, when you first set out, it starts to pick up a little bit once more. Path here is very loosely laid as you're pushing deeper into this forest. Seems not many travel these wild parts of the province of Thar'dia. Especially, around these areas, as there are quite a few dangers as you've already encountered on this path. The path winds to the left and the right, and it starts making its way through this little bit of a ravine. Earthen shelves are at either side of the path, about 10 to 12 foot tall. So at either side, you probably got, about 10 or 12 foot across, and then once you hit that 12 foot mark, up on either side of you guys as you were riding through is about 10 or 12 foot tall earthen shelves. You can see that there's rocks and roots that are protruding out of the side walls. Some of the roots actually have a little bit of snow built up on them from the snowfall. Others a little bit too small to catch any snow. Birds call through the treetops, as do other woodland beings in the forest. I cannot talk tonight. Okay, so you're all riding through this kind of earthen ravine. You guys doing anything at this point? Continuing on, talking, anything? Luxelum turns back and he says, "It won't be long now. Should be there, and probably by the end of the day tonight or so."
To the city?
No, I don't know where the city is, young boy. To the base of the mountains.
Oh.
We need to keep an eye out for the bear.
Yes, for the bear. We need to look for his outstretched paw, whatever that might mean. I'm open for suggestions. I have not solved the riddle just yet. And you guys continue to.
What if we have to kill a bear?
A bear with a magical paw.
I'll fuck that bear up.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't think the bear speaks common.
Are you just gonna try to talk to everything you come across?
We need a druid.
All right, so as you're all galloping through this ravine with the earthen shelves to the left and the right of you, let me get all of you to roll me perception checks.
Well, goddamn.
I know.
If it could stay on the
That's
table,
7.
I would appreciate it.
Strong
16.
7.
12.
Would be 13.
And I also got 12.
Okay, Hagen and Amara, as you guys are riding through, Hagen, you leading the charge. Amara, you're kind of looking over the right-hand shoulder of Max. And over on the left-hand side wall, you see a silhouette of a human man, or at least a humanoid head. Head and shoulders just on top of the left ridge, about 60 foot in front of your current position. With the sun directly behind the figure, it casts a shadow on the face, not easily to make out any of the features. And just as quickly as both of you see this figure, it pulls away out of the ridge line, or it's on the left-hand side wall, so it pulls away from the edge of the wall to where you can no longer see it.
And how tall are these walls? About 12 foot?
Yeah, 10 or 12 foot at either side, and it's over about 60 foot to the left-hand side wall, and you just saw the upper torso of a humanoid figure, and it kind of just pulled its way back as it saw you guys approaching. Couldn't make out too many details as far as anything about the face or anything.
Okay. After I see this, Amara's just gonna kind of like peek over and say, "Did anybody else see that?"
See
Can I
what?
hear her?
Yeah, you can hear her. She's close enough.
Yeah, I seen it.
I saw it.
This time, before charging off to investigate this, I'm gonna ask y'all and see what you think we should do.
What do you see?
It was a humanoid figure. Couldn't really make out any features or anything about it. About 60 foot down the path here, up on the left-hand wall.
So you say that, and Lee just kind of like looks around and waits for somebody to do something. If we just like continue on as normal, he's just like, "Who goes there?"
As you call out, no answer. Woods are silent. You can hear some birds chirping.
So are the woods getting dark then?
No, the woods aren't getting dark. The sun was directly behind the figure,
Okay.
so it was casting a shadow on the face itself. You guys, at this point, you left out early in the morning. You had the battle with the tree. It's probably somewhere around 10 a.m., 11 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna nudge my horse closer to the wall that it was on,
Okay.
and I'm gonna stand up on the saddle. I'm gonna jump and grab the top of the ledge and pull myself up.
Okay, so you're actually jumping onto the ledge itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me an athletics check as you're nudging your horse over, just standing on top of a beast. Not the easiest of footholds.
Can it be acrobatics?
Tell me how you would jump up there acrobatically, and I'll tell you yes or no.
Because I'm jumping off a saddle. I'm not like, I mean, that's had to be dexterous to stand up on a saddle, man.
Well, okay. Okay, I got you. You're trying to keep your balance and jump up, so yeah, acrobatics, that's fine.
I fall flat on my fucking face with a critical fail.
Nice.
Nice.
So as you're standing up on the saddle, you just get up where you're about to be able to peek over. You jump, grab for the wall, and start pulling up. And then as you're holding on the earthen shelf, it breaks and you fall down. And you take 5 falling damage as you hit the ground, out of breath, and you're flat on your back.
Slow clap.
I'm gonna laugh a bit. I'm just like chuckle.
As
Amara-
do I.
So you're laying there, it hurts, but it's funny enough to where trying to laugh a
I'm
little
gonna
bit.
stand back up and take out my grappling hook and try this shit one more fucking time. Off the ground this time.
Okay.
Off the ground and with a tool.
So you throw the grappling hook up, and you feel it, and it feels like it catches something pretty heavy, or at least sturdy, and you start pulling your way up. Go ahead and roll it with advantage since you have the grappling hook. Just climbing on up.
I was gonna say, like, all you can hear is like Amara just gently sigh, like.
You hear the sound of a hand slapping the face.
Acrobatics or athletics?
Since you're not trying to balance, I would say it'd be athletics this time.
Alright, it's gonna be at 17 then.
17? Yeah, no problem. So you grab onto the rope as it does feel like it hits something. You start pulling your way up, and you make your way up to the top of the shelf and start looking around. As you get your feet under you, now standing on top of this ridge, you look up to where the humanoid figure was spotted from below. At this point, your eyes are met with a creature on horseback. His bow is drawn and looking right at your position. Looking at him a little closer now, giving your eyes a little bit of time to adjust from the bright sunlight up on this ridge as you guys were kind of cast in shadow under. Your eyes adjust and you can see that he's actually not riding a horse, but in fact he's half horse himself. The upper torso of this creature is that of a man while the bottom resembles a horse. He has multiple piercings on his face, tattoos cover his bare-chested top. You see a short sword on his waist held by a leather belt, and a decorative amulet adorns his neck. He addresses you. Halt! One more step and this arrow goes clean through your neck. Who are you and why do you trespass through our lands? He's just got his bone drawn on you right now.
I stick my hands up like this, and I say, "We come in peace, good friend. We're just explorers." And I'm kind of saying it down.
Yes,
Fine.
yeah. And so as you say that, you can hear a little bit of a muffled voice, a little hard to make out what it is saying, as it is a little bit further away. But as Hagen kind of gestures his down a little bit more towards you guys, you can definitely hear what Hagen is saying. Looking up, you can't see much of him, but you can see his hands directly up in the air, about from the head up, and the hands you can see. You can see Hagen's got his hands up in a defenseless posture, telling somebody to keep it cool. That's what you guys know at the moment.
Lee,
I would
do you
think
want me to throw you up?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Right up.
All right, so go ahead and roll me an athletics check, Thar'dia. We've been here once or twice.
That is a 17.
Damn it! Why? All right, so you grab Lee, cradle
We have
style.
practice now.
Yeah, no, man. You got him by the back of the shirt and by the belt. You give a couple heaves, and then just throw them. And then Hagen, you just hear, and this little dwarf just lands right beside you.
This here is my dwarf friend, Lee.
Yeah,
I
Lee
wanna
just comes
try
up out of
jumping.
nowhere.
Yeah, can
Just
I
like-
jump as well?
Do y'all have a camp around here? Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
And
Can you tell me the places of note and places to visit? Maybe a good restaurant or a good inn?
anybody
Yeah,
wanting to try to climb up, go ahead and make athletics checks as you're trying to get up on this earthen shelf.
Can Amara throw me?
I got a 24, so.
To throw
Oh,
Max.
so you don't trust me to throw you?
No,
I'll,
you
24
threw
to
me into
climb.
a wall.
I'll throw you with my
That's fair.
24.
Okay, so she grabs you, Max. You go throwing up in the air. Amara's actually pretty stout.
And this is my friend Max.
As we'll keep popping up from.
Yeah, and this creature's just looking at you, and as each individual person comes up and lands, you can see his bow just quickly turn towards them, back to you, back to the next
I'd
one,
like
back
to
to
know
you.
that I just eat shit as soon as I land.
Okay,
Like
Max,
when
just
I get thrown up, I just fall forward.
face down, mouth full of dirt. Tastes great.
I purposely laughed to try and lighten the mood a little bit.
Right.
Like kind of
And
ease
so-
this guy.
As Amar, we'll say Amar and Thar'dia, you go ahead and make your way up as well, taking a little bit longer than the rest. But as Hagen, you're trying to address him, he looks at all of you, or looks at least the three that are up on the shelf at the moment, and he says, I do not care why you are here. You step into our lands with armed with blades and magic. For the time being, you are considered a threat by us.
Is there anything I can do that'll help ease your mind that we're not a threat?
And as you say that, he lets out a whistle, very loud whistle. Looking around you, you can now see popping out from multiple trees around this area more of these creatures. There are currently, you would guess, somewhere to be around 12 or 13 of these creatures surrounding you from different positions on your flank. No idea how many actually hide in the forest among the ones you can actually see right here. Some of the ones you see have armor covering their torso. Some of them are a little or more bare-chested, like the one you're actually talking with. They have bows drawn on you, some with long spears made with wood and metal. They all have one thing in common, though. They all look like they're very ready for a fight if you say the wrong thing. Amara, you and Thaldak make your way up to the top of the shelf now. And as you guys kind of climb up and crest over the ridge, you can like look around and like, oh shit! Like the whole group is surrounded on both sides of the earthen shelves. Looking behind you, you can see across the way. There's 12, 13, 14 of these creatures all around, weapons drawn on your position.
Would I have had dealings with centaurs in the past?
What would that be? History check?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, see if you know
Oh,
anything
would
about
I
their
have-
culture.
Considering how close this area is to
Your
Redwater,
homeland?
yeah.
Go ahead and roll a history check as well. See if you guys picked up anything along your ways.
12.
12, you've definitely heard of them. You haven't really seen one in person, but the druids you were with, they did speak of them and talked that, that they were a peaceful race and that they were to be respected. They were a very old race, but that, when pushed into a corner, they fight savagely.
Yeah.
Max, what'd you get?
I got an 11.
11, about the same. You've, over your studying and schooling, you've read different books along these centaurs, knowing that they are pretty rare. There's not too many of their home groups left in Thar'dia. Most of the race had died out years ago, but there are still small pockets of them here and about. Same thing, they're usually, usually pretty passive. However, they are a very fierce foe if made one. So both of you know a little bit about centaurs. So Amara, you all make it up there, and they're Their presence is very intimidating. Max, you got something to say?
Parlay.
Okay, and you see
He
the...
just like
Go ahead.
gives Max a look and then just takes everything that's a weapon that he has and just like sets it in front of him on the ground.
Okay. And so as this one in the lead still has bone drawn right on you, Max, as you yelled out parlay, he kind of looks over to a few of the other guys around him, still pretty trained on you, and he says, well, I would be happy just to kill you all where you stand and put your head on a spike as an example to others. That is not my call to make. Omrock will make that decision. You all have two options here. Turn over your weapons like your dwarf friend did. Let us bind your hands and you will follow us to Omrock. Or these arrows will be let fly and we will leave you all here for the crows. So, what's it going to be?
As he says this, Amara stands up to like her full like height, but then just kind of like gracefully walks over and like kneels down and like unsheaths her blade and puts it down in the snow and kneels down and says, all right, I don't think any of us have to die, neither on your side nor mine. Well,
Right,
I mean,
so,
for me personally, I
yeah,
think
so
we
you...
should...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, we should go, yes.
Okay, so you lay down your sword. Luxlum kind of walks up beside you, putting his sword down. He kind of looks over to the rest of you guys and he says, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'd really hate to die before we even got to see Adrilla. We are outnumbered, and my vote would be to live a little longer until we can work our way out. So, I am going to lay down my blade as well. And he pulls his machete out and sets it on the ground and kind of kneels. So left with Lee, you've already dropped your weapons. Max, Hagen, and Thaldak, what are you guys doing?
All my weapons except for my bow are in my bag of holding, so I'll just put my bow down.
Okay, so you lay your bow on the ground. Hagen?
I throw my bow, 2 daggers, and my short swords down. My other 2 daggers I'd like to make a sleight of hand check with and try to keep on my person.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand. I like that. That's really good. See what you get.
Well, I'm re-rolling that because it fell. Ah, natural 20. Fuck
Ooh,
yes.
buddy. As you go taking off some of your other weapons, you are just very adept into the art of concealment. And as you take off with this hand, making sure they're focusing over here, taking off the bow, you're sliding that other dagger a little bit deeper down into the pocket and conceal both of those other daggers. No one seems to be the wiser. So you lay down your weapons, except for your daggers. Thaldak, what are you doing?
That could have been bad.
That could have been bad.
I begrudgingly lay down my axe.
Okay.
And others.
So your axe goes ahead and lays down. Let's see. All right, so you lay your axe down onto the snow itself. So all of you are now assuming you are all surrendering to these creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the time.
For the time being, which is what they said. You know, they said it's not their call. So you all put down your weapons and. With all the weapons still drawn in a group, as you lay down your weapons slowly, making sure not to make any kind of sudden movements, a group of 3 of these creatures come up behind all of you and start taking the weapons and picking them up and gathering them and putting them into satchels along their sides.
With their horse hoofs, or
They have
how do
hands.
they do that?
They have
Are-
human.
The upper
okay.
torso is human, and it's just the lower half, the
All right.
legs are horse. So they bend down, pick up your weapons, and they do have like kind of saddle packs on their self, as they are horses. And they put in some, they take your weapons, and 3 of these people all gather up all the weapons and put them in packs. The lead one looks to all of you and he says, "That is a smart decision. Unfortunately, though, I was wanting to see some action today. Who knows, maybe I will still get my wish after all. As for now, we will bind your hands and take you to see Omrock." And then a few of these creatures start coming up behind you guys, starting to try to tie your hands. Luxlum actually speaks up at this point, trying to diffuse a little bit of the tension. He says, "I do say, we mean you no harm or disrespect. We are just travelers, as my friend Hagen has said here, making our way through these lands we do not know. We would be happy just to turn around and leave and go back home." And the head centaur speaks up once more and he says, "It does not work like that. We do not know how many more of you there are. You could be a scouting party for all we know. We will not be taking any chances like that today. You will talk with Omrock and he will give his decision. For your sake, I hope he's not in a bad mood.
Nah.
Can y'all grab our horses too?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got
Can you
horses
circle
down
back
here.
and grab our horses? We're very fond of them.
Yeah.
Your horses will be taken care of. They will be brought to the city as you will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, you guys now hands behind your back, getting bound up and tied by each of these creatures. Anybody protesting? Getting tied up?
Nope. Getting
No.
tied up.
All right.
Just let them.
Well, that doesn't make my job fun. Whatever. All right. So, hands bound, they start marching you single file. A few of them flanking to your right and to your left, one in front, one behind, and you start moving through. Like I said, it is a group of about 14 or 15 of these creatures leading you through down this path, down the snowy path towards wherever this Armrock person is. You all walk for the better part of 20 or so minutes through this forest. These creatures lead you off the path itself, to where you were on, into the trees. A lot more dense here. You guys had a little bit of a loose path laid. You are now 100% in the forest itself. So it leads you through this forest, and as you crest over a hill, you can start making out what seems to be a little bit of a village. It seems to be very modest. The architecture of the building seems to be very simple, mostly made from wood, straw, and a little bit of mud, crudely holding them together, maybe a few nails as well. As you all approach this village, you can see there's an outer row of wood that's surrounding the whole village. It seems to be sharpened to points and spikes, possibly for more of a defense on this village. On a few of these pikes, you can see there are a few wolf heads from various, or that are all in various forms of decay sitting on top. Probably trying to ward off anybody that's wanting to cause them any harm, to show their strength or whatever. Let's see. Past the line of spikes, there is a proper wooden wall about 10 foot high that surrounds the village in a hole. One set of giant double doors lead as the gate of this village. The creatures lead you up through the gates, or to the gates, excuse me. And as you all arrive, you can see that there are other of these creatures around, just kind of going about their day-to-day lives. A lot of them are definitely giving looks of interest towards your group, as not many of the other humanoid races are seen around these parts. Some of the band that was escorting your group kind of breaks off and goes and starts talking with some of the other villagers. And as you all approach the gates, you hear a very loud horn let out. The gates and start opening up. And a few of the creatures in the back of the group behind you guys kind of shove you forward a little bit. One looks towards you, Max, and he says, he looks towards you and he says, "You look a little scared, Two Legs. Don't worry, we're not gonna eat you. Unless Omrock says we can." Kind of gives that a laugh and kind of pushes you forward. One of the more
Laugh.
one of the more meathead, not diplomatic ones pushes you.
I'll laugh too.
All right, so you kind of get pushed forward, and you all are getting pushed through these gates. You all enter the village itself, flanked by all of these creatures, and you definitely catch the eye of all the inhabitants here. A lot of them look shocked to see all of you walking in. Others, stern faces and faces of a little bit of disgust. As you all enter and push through the crowds of onlookers, you head for a bigger hut, or you're being led towards a bigger hut in the center of the village. The hut is draped with animal furs. It has a straw roof, has tribal markings on the flaps of leather that are used to make the door. The creature that seems to be in charge of this group looks towards all of you and he says, "You all wait here. I will see if Omrock is available for your judgment." And so he's addressing you guys, telling you that. After he says that, he turns around and walks into the hut. As he's going up into the hut, he actually wipes his hoofs off onto some fur that's on the ground laying there before the hut, not wanting to track mud and snow into the dwelling itself. He's gone for probably several minutes at this point. A few of the other guards just kind of standing around you guys. You can definitely see onlookers pointing and talking about you. Anything you guys are doing at this moment while you're waiting for him to come back?
Lee is looking around, just kind of like in awe.
Yeah, me too.
Because, like, the druids that he lived with talked about centaurs and,
Right.
like, put some reverence in him about them. And since he never met any, like, this is kind of spectacular to him. So,
Yeah.
like, he looks visibly, like, almost excited.
Almost excited. Wow.
Hagen
and
just wants to ride one.
oh wow, that is very
Well,
disrespectful and racist, sir.
If I can break one of these motherfuckers before we leave,
Oh,
someone can have my horse.
What is it?
I would not advise trying to ride one.
No.
Like 2 has never seen like she's never really heard about these creatures either, so this is really new to her. So she's kind of putting together like that she saw the creature down there, which you guys like refer to as horses, and then she like defers like the other half, and she kind of leans over to one of you guys and says, this race, I've never heard of them before. What are they called?
They're centaurs.
Centaurs.
Yes.
Looks like a.
They're an older. They're an
looks like
old
a-
race.
Looks like
fierce
a
fighters.
human had their horse stump broke, if you ask me.
I've never seen one of these creatures before, but they're quite stunning. Although I would say that we should be definitely as respectful as we can. Yes.
To their
They're old,
faces.
proud, and fierce.
Yeah, and I will say, just looking at all of them, I mean, especially you, Thaldak, you're a big individual being a half-orc. These things are huge. They are 9-10 foot tall at the head, weighing every bit as much as probably a horse would weigh, as the main body, the torso, or excuse me, the lower half of the body is full 100% horse. So these are giant, big creatures that are very powerful. So they even dwarf you.
So, I mean, Thordak's not really concerned about the horses/centaurs. He's more like in panic mode about the shackles on his wrists or the rope, because he doesn't want to be
yeah.
taken again. So he's freaking out a little bit.
Yeah, you've already had a little bit of experience with that, so you're not liking your current stance. So as you're all just sitting there talking, or a few minutes pass, one of the leather flaps pops open, and you can see this creature standing in front of you, and he says, "Amrak will see all of you now for your judgment. Wipe your 2 little feet before you enter." And gestures for all of you to make your way inside.
Hagen kind of kicks his shoes off at the door
Okay,
and
that's
walks in barefooted.
Works. Everybody else wiping feet, making sure not tracking anything.
Yeah.
as I
He's
walk
probably
in, I'm
a
gonna...
little bit too thorough.
Okay, so you stand there a little bit longer than they kind of. He's like, all right, that's good enough. Come on in. And he kind of pulls you through.
As I'm walking in, I mumble, "Kind of me to make fun of my feet."
Oh well. All right.
Mara just takes a big sigh, like kind of preparing herself in a way, and then she.
So you all start making your way in, big breath in, and going into the boat itself. As you all enter this very small building, or actually it's not small, but it's small to what you guys would be used to. As far as the rest of the buildings around here, it is pretty large, but they are a little bit more modest than what you would have saw in Aurorash or something like that. It's hard to see it at first as your eyes are transitioning from being out in the bright sunlight to this very shaded area. But as your eyes do adjust to the dim interior, you can see that there is a fire pit burning in the middle, embers dancing up into the air and kind of wisping as the fire crackles and pops. The smell of smoke and herbs hits your nose. And looking around, you can see a few tables with various items sitting on top, a few blades, as well as one with a little bit of food and ale. Standing behind one of the tables directly behind the fire pit, so as you're looking straight into the room, you got the fire pit in the middle. Standing behind, there is a table behind the fire pit, and then behind that, you can see, let me see, where I lost my spot. You can see one of these other figures. His face seems to be a little bit distorted through the heat waves from the flames as they rise. Seems almost as if his face twists and dismorphs. But as you're led around the fire pit, you can now clearly see the figure. He's a little bit taller than the rest of the creatures you've currently encountered. More built in the chest and a little bit more broad in the shoulders. Long black hair that wisps down in front of the face. Scars adorn almost every inch of the bare skin that you can see, including his face. The creature that led you in, he says, "Amrak, these are the ones we were telling you about. We brought them for your judgment." And you can see him kind of lean back a little bit, kind of stretch, looks over towards your group, gives a little bit of a scoff, says, "Kurak, Tell me why you bring these two-legged people to our village. You know they cannot be trusted. He says, I did not want to make the judgment call without your overseeing first, Amrak. Very well. Why do they pass through our lands? And there's a little bit of a pause. Let me see.
We're looking for a bear.
You know, you're saying that? You're saying we're looking for a bear? And as you say that,
kind of speaks up and says, "We didn't mean to trespass, sir. We're just on our way through and happened to cross paths with your fine warriors here, and we're trying to make it through and then hopefully back through without any conflict whatsoever with your people."
Right. And so as you say this, he looks towards you and he says, "Be that as it may, I was not talking to you, I was talking to Kudok. Know your place and mind your tongue until I ask for it, or I might just take it until you learn some manners." And he says that looking at you. And as he says that, Kudok kind of speaks up and he says, "They say they are just passing through our lands. I do not know much else of their whereabouts."
Hagen just kind of looks around like...
Yeah, it's very formal, very militaristic in here. Very proud race. And then Luxilum, he looks towards Luxilum, Omrock does, and he says, "Why do you come here?" And Luxilum speaks up, he says, I'm sorry for any trouble we might have caused. We come searching for a lost city of sorts, the city of Adrilla. The lost city of the Arakakra, you might know it. And, he looks towards Luxilum with a little bit of a puzzled look on his face, and he says, "You seek the city of the Arakakra. That's... What makes you think that you would be able to find Adrilla? It has been lost for the thousands of years. Only those that are worthy are able to find it. What worth do you have?" And Luxilum speaks up once more. He says, "Yes, well, we have proof of this city and its whereabouts. I have followed clues all over Thar'dia, and they have all led me here. I have this tablet," and he kind of pulls it out, and as he does, you can see some of the guards kind of stiffen up with their weapons. Or no, he can't pull it out. That's right, his hands are tied behind his back. He says, "I have a tablet in my pack. If you would like to see it, one of your guards can pull it out. But this tablet speaks of something that lies or the city lying under the Whispering Peaks themselves. Well." And then Kordok kind of gestures for one of the guards to pull the tablet out of the pack, and he kind of hands it over, and Kordok starts looking at, or Armrock starts looking at it. Excuse me. He says, "Yes, well, we have." He says, "Our people knew about the city and that when it resided on the land. I do not know about a whole city sinking beneath the mountains." He looks towards Luxem. He says, or he looks towards all of you. He says, have you ever heard of such a thing even transpiring? A city lost under the mountains?" Asking all of you.
I say, "No, sir, we haven't, but that is one reason we have come to check it out. I mean, if we don't want to see this happen to anyone else's city, if the sinking or anything like that, we just want to make sure everything is legit."
He looks towards you and he kind of gives a nod and he says, "My people were once allies with the Arakakra. Our elders told stories of their elders and theirs after that. The stories told that we used to trade with the bird people, that we stood with them in battle, and that they were told that their city was the most brilliant thing on this land of Thar'dia. But one day they were wiped off the face of this earth, as did their city, and were never seen or heard from again. Our elders said that they held great knowledge, and that when the time was right, we would see them again. So with you looking for the city, it does bring a little bit of cause for concern for our people. Not saying that you mean any ill harm to us, or to the city itself, but it was told by our elders that we would see them again when the time was right."
As in a good way or as in a bad way you'd see them again?
We do not know. We knew that they had knowledge, great knowledge gifted to them by Bahamut itself. And they said when the time was right, the Arakakra would come back. That is all we know. That is all our elders ever spoke of.
Very interesting.
And he continues on, he says, you know, most people think of us centaurs as bloodthirsty monsters that would kill anything that moved within a heartbeat. The Arakakra were the only race we ever held an alliance with. Now with them gone, we just keep to ourselves. We do not trust the other races such as yours, and that is why you are being held captive at the moment. If what you all say is true, and you just look for this lost city, we will do no harm and let your group pass.
How can we prove ourselves to you that is in fact what we are doing and what we intend to do?
He looks towards you and he says, well, we cannot be too careful, as we have been burnt in the past by other races. I will say I'm not the one that is able to see somebody's intentions. You shall be taken to see our seer, Hesra. She will be able to tell if you're telling the truth or not. If she sees that your hearts are pure, and that you have no bad intentions to our people or our village, you will be free to go.
May I offer something?
What is that?
Absolutely take us to the seer still, so you know that I'm being honest when I offer this. What if you have a couple members of your clan escort us to where you know the city to have last been, and in exchange, we will do everything we can to, as soon as we get back, start brokering some sort of peace between you and our people down below.
Well, that does sound like a good plan. I would say that our race no longer knows where the city once stood. It fell thousands of years ago, and all we have left are the stories of it. We do not know the actual place. As far as us having some kind of alliance and possibly working with you, it is a possibility, but that would have to be after we speak with Hesra.
All right.
Even if you don't,
What's up?
even if you don't know where the city last lie, it would still be beneficial if he sent guides with us to the mountains. That way you would know our intention, and we would be a little bit safer in these mountains that we don't know.
It is a possibility that we would be able to guide you for some portion of this. However, we could not have too many of our guards gone for an extended period of time. We have to have them here to keep protection of our city.
As a token of peace, I'd like you to have this pristine wolf hide I have in my bag here, if one of your guards can get it out.
He nods and gestures for Kudrak to come over and take it out. And as he does, he flips to the pack and pulls out the wolf skin, and Kudrak hands it over. He says, "It's a fine-looking skin, Amrak." Amrak Tessa looks at it and he says, "That is very good work, actually. Did you do this yourself?"
Yes, I did.
You seem to have a steady hand with the blade.
I try my damnedest, sir.
I will say that you all...
I just noticed all the pelts you had on your home here and thought that would look good for you.
It would make a fine addition. We have not had too many dire beast hides in the past few months. I will hang it up and hold it with pride, and as long as Hesra says that you are all clear to go, we might actually consider having an alliance with your group.
As they're all speaking, Amara's gonna look up, just her head, and she looks a lot more serious than usual, but she says, "Sir, please take us to our seer. We have nothing bad for you. We have no malintentions for you as of now, and we will never have any, but we would like to prove that to you in any way, shape, or form, and I really hope that we can perhaps one day have an alliance." And she just smiles, just very, charismatically.
I do as well. We do not like to be on our own, but it is the choice that has kept us safe and alive all these years. So, we will start by talking with Hesra. After that, we will go from there. And he looks up and he says, Kurak, go tell Hesra that we come seeking her assistance. Yes, sir. And Kurak makes his way out of the hut. So Armrock kind of, postures up a little bit and walks over towards all of you, and he walks past your group and holds open one of the leather flaps. So all hands are still bound in front of you. I will say they weren't behind you, they were in front of you. But all your hands are still bound in front of you, but he opens one of the leather flaps and gestures for all of you to make your way outside towards the city. So I'm assuming you guys are all just following out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as you all walk outside once more, again, takes your eyes a few seconds to adjust, coming into the bright sunlight. Armrock makes his way out of the dwelling and steps in front of your group, and he says, "Follow me, and I will show you to Hesra's temple." And he starts leading on down this path through the city. As Armrock leads you towards the seer Hesra, you all pass through the streets of this small village. Many of these centaurs are looking around are all around doing various jobs. Some are chopping woods, others rebuilding a section of wall that seems to have fallen down. Still giving you strange looks, but as you walk with the leader, they can tell you're definitely not going to do any harm as you're walking with Armrock. So you all continue on down this path for a minute or so until Armrock stops at one of these dwellings. Looking at it, it's a little bit bigger than most of the other dwellings around here. It's still smaller than Armrock's was, but all the rest are really small, just enough to fit one of these creatures probably. This one is a little bit bigger, probably a medium-sized building compared to his large. Let's see, you're all looking at this dwelling outside. You can see it's adorned with various bones and feather trinkets, almost like wind chimes hanging from the top of it. You can see that there are a few different skulls that hang from ropes above the door. You see, you all seem to see, or excuse me, the skulls are from smaller creatures, probably stuff like ravens, rabbits, and stuff like that. Not really big skulls, but just smaller skulls. And to either side of the entrance, you can see what are some kind of braziers that are coming up, made out of metal and both crackling with wood that's popping with life. The smell of burning herbs hits your nose once more, but definitely a lot stronger than when it was in Armrock's tent. Armrock looks towards your group as he stops and he says, "This is Hesra's temple. She is blind, but she can see with her mind. When you enter, show respect by not looking in her eyes. You keep your head towards the ground until she calls upon you. Only then you look into her eyes. For those that do not show respect, you shall forever be cursed. Everyone understand?"
Absolutely.
Yes.
Understood.
Okay, also, I want to point out that during this entire time, Lee hasn't, aside from walking into the city, when he met Armrock, he hasn't raised his head. He's been, in a constant state of bowing to Armrock.
Showing that respect that you learned from those druids.
Yeah.
And he definitely takes note of it. You can see that they can tell who at least knows of their presence as a race and who doesn't. Who's not as inclined to their customs and stuff like that. So they take notice of it, and you're definitely a little bit more in their graces than anyone that wasn't doing so.
I would assume that these rituals would be pretty familiar to me as well, since half-orcs are probably pretty tribal as well.
What about what about the rituals?
I'm just talking about their rituals of respect and all that.
Yeah, okay. Oh, those. I thought you were talking about the ritual that Hesra is going to perform.
I would assume that something like that would be a little bit familiar too.
Kind of shamanistic or something like that. Yeah. That there's people that are that have more, I don't know, spirit nature that can kind of see into the future, into the past, and can see intentions of people and stuff like that. So you would be a little bit more familiar with that aspect as well.
Hagen's not used to having to show respect because of where he comes from. He was a prince, and he was the one being
shown respect.
Yeah. I got you.
What is it called? Are the hands tied in front or are they tied in back?
They're tied in front.
In front? Okay, yeah. So as we're walking, Amara's just she's breathing in very rhythmically, and under her breath she's counting from 5 to 1 each time down, and then kind of instinctively just pulling your hands apart, not to break it, but just to see how strong they are. Just something you learned.
Right. As you're kind of doing that, noticing it, It does feel like it's tied very tight. It is, probably a hemp rope, and it's very woven very nicely. As you know, it's probably something that's been passed down in their trade for a long time. So the rope itself is very sturdy. Giving enough force, you could probably break it, but you feel like it would probably be pretty difficult to do so. You're tied up pretty tight.
Yeah. Okay.
So at this point, Amrak opens the flap and gestures for you to make your way in. You guys pushing in?
Yep.
All right. So
With our heads hung down.
right. So as you all start pushing your way in, who's leading it? Who's going in first? Who's leading in?
I'll go in first.
All right. So
It's
Thar'dia.
probably Thar'dia and then Lee.
Okay. So Thar'dia, you start making your way in. Lee, as you start going into this hut, Amrak holds out his hand and stops you, putting it on your chest. And he says, "The seer can only see one of you at a time. This allows her to connect with your spirit. The rest of you will have to wait out here until Hesra is done with your friend." And so, Thar'dia, you're kind of at the cusp of walking in and hearing that. So,
Okay. And I'll continue forward.
all right, everybody else stand back.
Yeah.
So, Thar'dia, as you enter this very dimly lit hut, you can see there's only a few small candles giving off any light. An intense smell of herbs and spice hits your nose. The roof of this place is covered with what seems to be like bone chimes, similar to the ones you saw outside, just all hanging down. The material itself is made out of pretty much just leather, with the roof being made out of a little bit of wood and a little bit of straw, but like the sidings of this building are just made out of a very fine leather that's been refined. A small fire sits in the middle of the room, giving off just a tiny bit of warmth as it is still very cold outside. But just as far as the fire and the candles, it's the only light in here, and the fire itself is really small, not compared to the giant fire that was in Armrock's tent. Looking in, you can see next to the fire, currently with her back towards you, a female centaur. But she's very old compared to the rest of the ones you've seen in this village currently. The room at this point is dead quiet. As you start walking in, do you have your head bowed?
I do.
All right, so your head's down, and you hear a voice call out, and she says, "Ah, a half-orc, interesting. Your spirit is heavy with pain, so much so I can almost taste it. Come, sit by the fire, young one. This will not take long."
I do.
So you make your way up quietly. Rest of the tent dead quiet at this point. As you sit down next to her, she kind of has her feet crossed under her, and just without even looking to you, she extends her hand out, and you can see there's a wooden bowl with a dark green liquid in it. And she says, "Drink up, half-orc. Let Malor show me what she needs to."
I do so.
So you take this bowl and you start drinking it back. Very bitter, not the best tasting. Definitely seems like it comes from a root or something like that. And she says, as you're drinking it, she says, "When you drink this, she allows me to see your soul, your very essence. She lets me see your intentions." You go ahead and finish off the drink. All the way down the hatch?
Yep.
All right. So, I honestly don't have this planned.
You take 44 points of damage.
Yeah, so you die instantly. So, well, I do have this. I didn't have the music planned. So, okay. So, as you go ahead and throw back the drink, you sit there for a few minutes. Nothing really happening. The hut itself quiet. She herself is not talking. The only thing you can hear is the wind blowing against the leather sides of this hut. At this moment, you can see your vision starts to blur, almost as if when you're drunk, starts to blur a little bit, and your hands become too heavy to hold up, and they fall down to your sides. It won't be long now, half-orc. Let Malor show me what she needs to." And as she says this, her words just echo and reverberate through your head, and your vision goes pure white, and it seems as if your spirit is thrust out of your body.
Hold on.
Thrust out of your body, and you begin to fly through the clouds. You can feel wind on your face as you look around, and as you do look around, you cannot see any of the rest of your body. Your arms and legs have disappeared into pure wind at this point. You can now see swirling cyclones where the limbs once were, and as you pop through each one of these clouds, the vapor swirls within you and your form itself. At last, as you're going through these clouds, you begin to form into one giant swirling mix of vapor. And at this point, your vision takes you downward until you can see sand. And then with a flash of light, you find yourself standing in a very familiar pit. As your eyes adjust, you look around, face down in the hot sand. You can hear echoing chants coming from around you. As you stand up or as you sit up and rub your face, you start looking around. You can see you're back in the slave pits where you once fought for your life. You are now standing, not really remembering how you got up. You feel yourself clutching your great axe in your hand with a familiar warmth coating it. Looking down, you're covered in blood, and as you begin to spin around, ears ringing with the sound of the crowd, your heart sinks. Laying on the ground at your feet, your brother. His lifeless body stains the sand in its blood. You see the body twitch, and the almost decapitated corpse of your brother look up towards you.
Brother, why did you kill me? You had a choice. We could have died together.
It was the way it must be, brother. You yourself told me that.
You chose to sacrifice me. We could have went out with glory as brothers, but you took the coward's way out, Thar'dia. How do you live with yourself?
I barely do, brother. I strive each day to bring you back. I strive each day to redeem you.
And as you say this, you see the life once again fall from his eyes and the body falls limp, death overtaking him once more. What are you doing?
I turn and I charge up the stands towards the master.
As you turn around, you hear you hear loud footsteps falling from behind you. And as you turn to run up these stands, you see a very familiar human male standing in front of you. A chill runs down the back as Callisto speaks.
Yeah, Thar'dia, why'd you kill him? Why'd you kill your poor brother? That's right, because I told you to. You are my lapdog boy.
What are you doing?
I swing my great axe right at his fucking throat.
You swing the great axe with all the might you can muster, and as you do, it slices through the neck. Nothing happens. You slice again. You slice again, trying to cleave down Callistus, each blow going straight through his body.
You're an evil killer, Thar'dia. It's in your blood. You are no hero. You are a coward.
Time will show you how much of a hero I can be. I will tear the city apart.
As you say that, you hear loud footsteps once again coming from behind you as a scream. You turn around to see your almost beheaded brother coming at you with his long sword. Your instincts kick in, but they're just a little too late. And with the swing of the sword, you can feel the cold steel of the long sword slice through your neck. Your perspective stays with your head as it tumbles and falls to the sands. You can see a bloody sword slam down into the ground next to your decapitated head. Your brother bends down to speak.
How does it feel, brother? What would Mother think if you told her you killed me? Why did you not stand with me, Thar'dia? Why?
And he just goes into a sobbing fit. The brother falls once more, corpse on the ground next to you. At this point, you see another figure running up or walking up towards you, a little more slim but not human. As you rub the sand from your eyes to get a better look, your mother is standing before you. She breaks into a sprint and runs towards your brother's lifeless body as she begins to sob and scream.
Why did he do this? My poor baby. No, I know you were only trying to protect him. It was his actions that caused all this to happen. He is the reason I do not have either of you anymore.
As she says this, her head whips around straight to you, right to your decapitated head, looking at you stone face. She says,
I did not raise a monster, Thar'dia. You are not the son I once knew.
At this point, the crowd from the stands start to pile on the pit themselves. They all come over to your decapitated head. As your mother backs away, she fades into the distance through the sea of people. And so you can no longer see her. They all start gathering around your head. Some spit on your body, others begin to speak up. Worthless dog. Who would do that to their own brother? Nothing but a ruthless killer, my dad always said. These half-orcs, they just want blood, they don't care where it comes from. And as those last words echo through your head, there's a blinding light, your spirit is thrust back into the clouds, wind wisping past once more, flying through each clouds in this new air form which you're still not comfortable with. As you swirl your way back to the Centaur village, your eyes shoot open and you find yourself back in your body next to the fire.
I grasp the amulet around my neck.
You reach up and and grasp onto your brother's amulet. And as you do this, you feel a prick on your left arm. Looking over instinctually, you see Hesra pulling a small sharpened bone from your arm. She sniffs the blood and then sticks the bone into her mouth, licking it clean. Her eyes shudder and close for a few moments, and as she gives a big inhale, she looks at you directly in the eyes. You can see her eyes clouded over with cataracts at this point. It is okay to feel sadness, my child. You should not have had to go through the pain you did. I truly hope you get the vengeance you seek someday. Awful thing it is to have to take a life of someone you love. However, your heart is pure. Down inside, beneath that rage, Malora shows me a protector. A protector of those that cannot fight for themselves. Keep on your current path and you will become the hero you seek, Thar'dia. He has already forgiven you. You must forgive yourself.
Thank you, Seer.
As you say this, she gestures for you to make your way outside of the hut.
I go.
You get up, walk your way outside. Coming through the door, you all see Thar'dia coming through. Thar'dia, what are you doing right now? What are you looking like? What's happening?
I'm stone-faced. There's no fucking emotion at all. And I'm still grasping the amulet.
Anybody say anything?
As he passes by, Amara just kind of like puts her hand out just a bit, like not out, but just a little bit out, like with her fingers, and she goes, I hope you're all right.
I hope it's not the same for each of you. Just beware. It's not who she shows you. It's not the real person.
I understand, thank you. And she nods, please, get some rest. You look like you need some.
As you come back, hands still bound at this point, standing behind the group, Armark looks up and he says, So, who is next to see Hesra?
They will walk in like he tried before.
Okay. So, Lee, you push your way on through. Let me find you, because I got a lot of text here on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you enter this tent, Lee, a sense of calm comes over you. This place feels almost like one of the temples where you learned your monk skills. Dirt floors, not much of modern tools, very simple architecture. An old female centaur sits across from the fire in the middle, eyes looking up towards the ceiling, arms outstretched wide. As you step in fully, she speaks. You have an interesting aura about you, dwarf. I feel that you wield magic, but it does not come from the earth or the arcane. Rather from within. I do not think I've ever met anyone with the gifts you have. Were you born with these powers?
No, Cirrus. I learned them.
Interesting. Well, come sit by the fire. I have prepared a drink for you. I cannot see you with my eyes, so the drink helps me see your essence.
Of course.
So you go in, sit down by the fire. She reaches over once again without looking at you, handing you the wooden bowl. Words are hard. Dark green liquid in there. Take a sniff of it. Smells very acrid, very bitter. Does not smell pleasant. You drink it?
Yep.
All right. Down the hatch. As you drink the bitter liquid, it kind of leaves a little bit of a film in your mouth. About a minute passes, and then you kind of start to think nothing's really going to happen. You feel a tickle on your right arm. As you look over, you see a dancing arc of electricity. It dances left, right, It begins to grow larger. As this arc swirls, it starts to encompass your whole arm and then spreads to the rest of your body. In almost a blink of an eye, you can see that you're made out of pure electrical energy. Your spirit is thrown from your worldly body and shoots into the air into the clouds. Your new form sparks and arcs left, right, up, and down through the different clouds, gliding from each of them with ease. As your form enters each cloud, you can look around and see there is a chain reaction that you're causing. Thousands of little arcs come off and dance through the clouds as loud booms echo as where you can see lightning strikes coming down from them. In an instant, you're now thrown down in one of these lightning strikes and slammed to the ground with force that you've never felt before. There's a blinding flash, and you find yourself in the woods where you once lived with the Druid tribe. Now, I will say, real quick, I know, just breaking up the tension, how the fuck do I say any of your names for your backstory? Dia Zhao?
Give me 1 second to look at the names.
Yeah, because I wrote them down, but I don't know how to.
Dixon names.
Yeah, I know, man.
No, okay, so
I was gonna ask you, but I forgot.
It's just Chinese pronunciation, right? So like,
Well, I know X is Z, and that's it. That's all I got for you.
there it is. So
Daixio.
Dai Zhao.
Dai Zhao. So, as you're looking around, you see a familiar face. It's actually your own face. You are standing next to Dai Zhao, and he is trying to teach you something. You remember this conversation well. Li, I know that you have it in you. For some, it just takes longer than for others. If you just focus down on your studying and commit to your teachings, you will be a powerful druid in no time. And as you look up, you actually see your younger self. You see your face. It's a face of frustration and anger. You remember what it felt like not to belong. You see the others learning their craft, using their earth magic. However, you're just an outcast and a hot-headed one at that. Dai Zhao, I cannot do this. I do not have the same powers as the rest. I spend day in, day out studying your teachings. And for what? It is pointless. I will never be able to wield the magic as you do. At this point, you see your younger self throw up his hands and walk away from Dai Zhao. Everyone else is gathered up learning new skills, and you're left walking away on your own. You get to a cluster of trees by yourself, and you slam into one of them with your fist. The bark on the tree scatters as an indentation left by the shape of your fist stays there. Something you did not notice at the time, but now looking on this scene, you can see that Dai Zhao was watching you all this time. He saw you leave that scar on the tree. Looking at his face, you can see it was at this point where he thought of the other group that might be able to help you see your true potential. Your vision flashes in rapid successions. You can see Dai Zhao handing you off to the group of monks. It switches and you're learning the way of the monks, and as you're picking up the techniques quickly, but you do not have patience for meditation at this time. Again, your vision flashes and you see yourself standing next to Guardian Paolo? P-A-O? Paolo. Next to Guardian Paolo. Li, you are one of the quickest learning students I have ever seen. You take to the craft of our fighting and key energy faster than any student I can remember. But your anger clouds your judgments. To be a monk, it's not about fighting. It is about a way of life. You have to have patience and a calm about you that you lack at this point. That'll be it for the day. We'll pick back up here tomorrow at first light. You can see the look on Paolo's face. It's a look of worry and frustration. You remember thinking that you were just wasting his time and your own. The vision flashes once more and you can see your younger self packing his belongings and leaving the monastery for good. As the image of you walks out of the door and heads into the woods seeking a path that's better suited for him, you feel your electrical form give way to flesh as you now stand in front of him. Who are you, dwarf?
I am you. Older, wiser.
How are you me if I am me?
Strange magics are about.
Strange indeed. Why are you here?
It is unclear. A lesson for me to learn. A lesson for us to learn.
So many lessons. I am tired of learning.
Learning is what we are made for.
Fine. If you are me, do I ever find my spot in this world?
You find some who help you find that spot.
And where am I to go from here? I leave the monastery with nothing in sight.
Follow your instinct. You will find where you're supposed to be.
Very well, dwarf. That is me. And he starts walking past you. As he does, he kind of stops in his tracks, and you kind of turn, hearing the footsteps stop. He looks back over his shoulder and he says, "The anger. Does it ever go away?"
It does not. We learn to control it.
Better than nothing, I guess. And he continues to walk into the distance. You feel a familiar tickle crawl over your skin. Looking down, you can see energy overtaking your body once more. In an instant, you're thrust back into the crowds, arcing from one to another, until you find yourself shot back down into the room, sitting next to the fire. Looking over your hands, you no longer carry the electrical charge as before, but you feel a sting on your shoulder. Looking up, thinking it was just some of this electrical energy again, you can see Hesra, small bone coated in your blood. As she looks you in the eyes at this point, she sticks it into her mouth and pulls it clean. Her breath starts getting faster and faster. Then, just as quickly as it picked up, she becomes calm once more and speaks. "You, Lee, are very different from most. You do not carry internal scars, nor do you seem to have too many fears. Your spirit does not seek vengeance or glory, but rather an understanding for yourself. An understanding as to what your purpose is. You feel as if you never really fit into any of the groups you traveled with. Melora shows me that more than anyone I have ever met, you have an internal struggle with yourself. You are your own demon, Lee. She also tells me that while it may be a random group of adventurers, you have found your true group with the ones you walk with now. Stay with them, and you will find your place among Thar'dia."
Thank you, Cirrus.
And as you say that, you bow your head. She gestures for you to make your way out.
Walk out.
Anything as you come out?
Nope.
Silent stone killer, as always.
Not much to say.
Armark looks up, sees Lee passing through, and he says, "All right, who is next for Hesra?"
I'll go next.
Okay. So, Hagen, you push past these leather doors, these leather flaps that are used as doors. Entering the hut, very dimly lit, you can see candles giving off light, fire growing in the middle, intense smell of herbs hits your nose. Looking over towards one of the tables, you can see one of these female creatures, older than any of the rest you've seen, currently mixing some kind of potion. She starts to speak with her back towards you. "Ah, lucky me. A wood elf. You walk as if your feet do not even hit the ground, young one. Interesting. Young in the face, but wise by the years. Sit by the fire and I will be right with you."
I do.
So you go over, take a seat at the fire. It takes her a few minutes or so as you're kind of looking around. Very still movement. There's not really anything interesting going on in here besides the flicker of the flames. However, she does get done mixing. She comes over to you and she sits down next to you, crosses her legs underneath her, and holds out a bowl towards you. "Here you are. This drink will show me the person you really are. It'll show me your intentions within our village. Drink up."
I'll drink it.
Throw it back.
Throw it back.
Minute or so passes, you can feel your stomach try to fight against whatever this potion is. You start to go into a cold sweat, and just the moment when you think you're about to vomit, your vision goes pure white, and it seems as if your spirit is thrust out of your body, and it feels as if you start to go down and move through the earth itself.
You can feel the pressure of the ground constricting around your body, stones moving and grinding around your current spot. As you make your way through this earth, you can feel what would be your arm if you had an arm in this form separate from your body as you're cruising through past a giant boulder, and as you go past the boulder, it reconvenes and connects onto this earthen spirit you now have. There is no pain with it, however, it's definitely disconcerting. You, just as you feel like you're about to suffocate within this form under the earth, feeling a little bit claustrophobic, your spirit bursts through the ground and you find yourself in a royal throne room. You hear a voice call out from you from the throne. There you go, Wood Elf. Or excuse me, you hear a voice call out all around you, omnipresently. There you go, Red Elf. Let Melora show me who you really are. After this voice fades, your realities blur as you're pulled into the current moment at hand. Hagen, how could you have let these beasts overtake your homeland? I thought I taught you better wisdom than that. What did I always say? Never underestimate your enemy, because when you do, the battle is already lost. As your vision gets more clear now, you're now standing in front of your father's throne. Marbled stone floors around the throne look just as they did before the Goliaths came. And in front of you, on top of the throne, sits your father. Well, what do you have to say for yourself, son? How did this happen?
I'm sorry, Father. I misjudged them and their war tactics. I thought they would be an easier foe to defeat. I thought we had them on their heels, and they proved to be mighty warriors. And I feel disgrace for letting you and our family down.
And as you say this, he kind of breaks your gaze and looks over to the side. You know, kind of starts chewing on his fingernail a little nervously and just looks back up towards you, crosses his arms, and he says, I knew you were too young to pick up the mantle as general. I should have put someone else in charge of Longdale's army. Thanks to you, we have nothing. You have nothing. Thanks to you, thousands of innocents died by the Goliath's blades. Their blood is on your hands, Hagen.
I will right it, Father. One day, I will reclaim your throne for you.
Gods, get this disgrace out of my keep. He is no son of mine. And two or three different guards in full Longdale armor rush up to you and grab you by both arms and start dragging you out of the keep. You saying anything at this point?
I just hang my head in shame and let them drag me.
Okay, so you're just being drug off, no contest from you whatsoever. Just as you get about halfway out of the keep, you hear an overwhelming loud cracking of stone above you. As you look up, you can see the roof itself of the keep is now being torn off by a colossal giant. Must stand 300 to 400 foot tall. Both guards drop your arms and begin to run out of the keep. The colossal giant calls down to you. Hagen Zinbala, how does it feel to be a failure? How does it feel to know I now use your home as my own? Puny little elves, thinking you could best us Goliaths. You will never have your home back. With this, the Goliath starts to bring down a foot towards your father's throne. As you look over, you can see your father still sitting there atop. He looks over you, spinning his head with unnatural speed, meeting your gaze, stone-cold face. This is your fault, Hagen. The glass foot slams down onto the throne, crushing all of it, including your father. As he picks his foot up once more, you can see now stained in blood, and he starts to bring it down towards you. You hear a crackle of stone falling and crushing onto the ground as his foot comes down towards you, and just before you're about to be crushed, your body is thrust back into the earth. Next, and then you go through the earth, gliding through all of these stones, feeling each one of them as it passes your earthen form. Springing back up next to the fire, you feel your body coalesce into its now flesh form once more. A prick stings your right shoulder as Hesra pulls a small bone from you. As she licks the blood, she goes into somewhat of a trance with her eyes closed. Her body begins to shake violently for 30 seconds or so, and at the point where you think something might be wrong, her eyes shoot open, directly looking into yours. She begins to speak. An elf without a name, without a home.
Now that is a sad tale. You hold yourself solely responsible for what happened to your city and your people. But you must know that many choices from many different people made this outcome what it is. Most elves would have broken under that kind of pressure. Take pride in knowing that while you could have taken the easy way out, you stepped up and found your true purpose with this group. Melora tells me that you are on the right path. Keep your eyes forward, Hagen, not in the past, and you will surprise yourself someday.
Thank you, Seer.
And she gestures for you to make your way outside of the hut.
I do.
Anything as you come out?
No?
Heavy stuff, man. Heavy
I
stuff.
just kind of hang my head and walk past the others.
So,
Armrock looks 3 out of the 5. Who goes next?
looking towards Max and Amara.
I'll step forward.
Max is stepping forward. All right, Max. So you step forward, pushing past the leather into this hut, same as before with Hagen. Oh, all right. I was like, what the fuck's happening? Very dimly lit, few candle lights. The scent of intense herbs hits you. Bone chimes hang from the ceiling, as did they outside. One of these creatures is sitting in, is currently lighting some of the dried herbs on the table. However, she is female. During your time in this village, you have not seen any female. She's actually the first female you've actually seen. As she starts to wave her hand around and let the smoke fill the hut, she turns to you and speaks.
Half-elf, huh? Never fully accepted by either of your races. Now that must be a hard life. But I get the sense you make up for it in your own ways. By the fire, a drink for you. Drink it in full, do not miss a sip.
I down it super fast.
So you rush over to the fire, throw it back, and stay there for a second. About a minute or so passes, and you begin to feel your skin start to warm. While it's pleasant at first from the cold, extreme cold outside, it continues to heat, and after a while it feels as if your skin will surely melt to the bone. At this time, you feel your spirit thrust from your body and quickly realize that you're now made of pure flame. Passing through the tent, actually making your way outside past your group, you continue on through the forest, traveling for what feels like only a few minutes. However, somehow you recognize the area. You're on the outskirts of Redwater itself. But something is a little off. It doesn't seem the way it used to be. The farms all here are barren, no signs of life whatsoever in the fields. The flame continues through the city streets, making its way in, passing by all the houses here. Not really as you remembered them. Most of them are run down and falling apart. You pass by a few citizens, and they all look to be very malnourished. You find yourself in the Blair Keep, and your spirit is thrust into your own body. Looking around, you're now sitting on the throne itself. Your body, though, feels much older than it did just a few minutes ago. As you take your hands up and rub your face, your smooth skin that used to be there is now old and dry and cracked. As you look at your hands, they are now withered and bony. Looking in front of you, you see a young man you do not recognize. Long blonde hair, wielding full plate armor, has the Redwater tabard draped over his chest plate. Lord Maximus, what are we to do? The farmers say that the harvest will be the worst we've had in 10 years. All of our people here in Redwater are starving. We have to burn at least 15 bodies a day because we do not have the manpower to bury them. What do we do, Lord Maximus?
You're muted.
You're muted.
You did.
Scrub.
We set up trade with other towns as much as we can. We have to survive this.
What the fuck was that? Oh,
Somebody
somebody.
knocking my fucking window.
Okay. Scared the shit out of me. He says, I mean, we might be able to set up trade, but, I mean, at this point, most of the Redwater guards are leaving, calling the city a dying city at that. Our citizens are to the point of breaking, and we're doing all we can to even keep them from burning this keep to the ground. At this point, another guard breaks into the throne room. My lord, we cannot hold them back any longer. They are coming. As he says this, you can see an angry mob with torches and pitchforks pushing into the castle itself. The guard next to you steps in front and draws his sword. The mob pushes past the guard at the front door, him not really able to give much protest as there are 30 or 40 people pushing past. As they push past, they all have looks of disgust and hatred on their face. Worst king we've had in Redwater ever! Your father would not have let this happen! We should just kill you and take that fancy throne of yours and keep the city for ourselves! As this mob starts pushing in, they start lighting any wooden furniture around the keep on fire, as well as cloth and tapestries hanging on the walls. Others are yelling and running towards the throne, weapons in hand. The guard in front of you steps up and slices at one of them, taking him down to his knees, but he's now overran by the mob as they start stabbing into him. As they all start to bring their weapons down upon you, your vision flashes. You're now surrounded by darkness. No sound, no light, nothing. Minutes pass, and you can now see a faint light off in the distance. You begin to run towards it. You run for what feels like almost hours, drenched in sweat, body almost giving up on itself. As you finally get close enough to make it out, you see the image of Fenric Gestal's hanging corpse. Face now whitish blue from the lack of blood. The corpse hangs lifeless, swaying back and forth slowly. The head shoots up and looks towards you and begins to speak. You killed me, Max. You killed me, Max. You killed me, Max. And as he continues to shout, these words start to cripple you in pain. You throw up your hands to cover your ears to stop it, but it does nothing to muffle this sound. You killed me, Max. And as you look up, hands covering your ears, you can now see it's your face on Fendrick's body, looking back at you. What do you do?
I turn around and start running.
You start running, and as you turn around and run, your footsteps just echo in this complete dark, empty area. Just, you killed me, Max! You just hear this screaming. And as you do, you feel your skin begin to warm once more, and your spirit burst into flames. Now shooting through the city of Redwater once more, back through the streets, past the farms, through the forest, and passing back through your group once more. Your eyes shoot open, giving out a loud gasp, trying to get any air you can. You can hear your heartbeat through your ears as you now sit back within the tent.
I fall backwards.
You fall backwards, and as you do, you lay there, looking up at the ceiling. A prick on your left shoulder brings you back to reality. Hesra brings a small bone up to her mouth with blood on it, puts it in her mouth, licks it clean. Her head starts to twist to the left and to the right at unnatural speeds. Left, right, and 10 or so seconds pass until she calmly looks up straight at you, eyes coated in cataracts. A leader not sure of his own skills. Don't worry, Max. Most great leaders do not know their own power. Most are scared of that unknowing. But it is the ones that do not show fear that will run when adversity strikes. You hold great remorse for something that was not your fault. Let the dead stay dead, young half-elf. Do not let them affect the person you wish to be. Melora says that you are a kind soul and one with great potential. Do not lose sight of your true self, Max.
I'll bow my head to her and turn.
She gives you a bow as well and gestures for you to make your way out.
Alright, I'll leave.
So, you make your way out. Amara, Armrock looks towards you as Max walks out. But one left. It is your turn, Drow.
And she does. I'm gonna walk in and nod.
Right. So as you pull back the leather flap and start walking into the door of this place, head down as Armrock told you not to look her in the eyes, you bump into a great mass and are met face to face with this female centaur. As you look up, her eyes are glazed over white, and a small smile creeps across her face and begins to speak. The lone female of the group. Must be hard to travel with such brutes. But I can sense you can hold your own in battle. Very interesting. Come in, child of
Get in the
Melora.
bed.
Don't get in the bed, but take a seat by the fire. I will be with you soon.
And so she nods, thank you, and she goes and she sits down.
Yep. So you make your way in, and as you push past her and make your way in, she actually looks towards Armrock and says, "I have a very good feeling about this one, Armrock. Her essence drips with purity. Time will only tell, though. I will find any secrets she may hide." "Thank you for doing this, Hesra. We cannot be too careful these days." "Agreed." Hesra lets out a sigh and starts walking back in. Making her way into the tent, the flap closes behind her. She walks over towards the fire pits and pulls off a bubbling pot off the pit itself. As she makes her way over to one of the tables with the pot, she sets it down and begins to speak to you. "I think you are only the second drow I have ever seen in my life. Must be a hard way to grow up underground away from all the beauty a Thar'dia holds on its surface."
Well, here on Thar'dia, it is beautiful to finally see what I've heard about.
Very much so. And as she says this, she starts walking over to you with a bowl of the liquid, and she says, "Drink this so Melora shows me your true nature. Don't worry, child, it will not harm you."
She does, like, she kind of like gulps, but then takes it back.
Take it, throw it back. Minute or so passes, and doesn't seem to take too much of effect at first. Seems to take almost like you're getting a little bit tipsy, but that's about it. However, then you start to feel as if your body itself can almost just flow onto the ground. You look around and you start seeing a shimmer to your armor, and you actually notice that you're now made of pure water. As you realize this, your spirit is shot out of the tent and you begin to travel down a stream. You can feel the stream traveling by, but it feels as if you're almost one with the stream, as if you're the stream itself. The stream turns into a giant river, and you can feel the stones and river rocks as your body glides over them. Your vision flashes, and you find yourself thrust into a cave. Looking down on your body, it now has physical form once more. A shadowy figure approaches you just out of eyesight. "Amara, my sweet, beautiful child, tell me, why do you fight it? Why are you were always meant to be one of us. You were meant to lead our armies in Amara. You were meant to take them above ground and take back what is rightfully ours."
No, she's standing there and she's shaking her head. She's like, no.
Not saying anything?
Yeah, she's shaking her head.
And as you're just shaking your head back and forth, he starts to creep forward towards you. Frail old body, skin pulled tight against the bone, wrinkled. And as he starts to push closer towards you, you can see his face starts coming into light. You see your father standing before you. As you look to the left and the right, you now notice you're bound with ropes. They didn't seem to be there before. As you pull and struggle, you can't move. "You think you are better than us, Amara? You think you can run away and leave this life behind? Well, you are wrong, my child. You will lead our armies whether you like it or not. If you do not want to come back, that is fine. I will find you and I will bring you back screaming." Bound, not able to move.
She's like thrashing her arms like against like all the bounds, and then she just looks forward and just like screams really loud.
Right. You let out this scream, and it just reverberates and echoes and just through this cavernous cave. As you're tied up and he begins to make his way a little bit closer, you can see as he gets right up next to you, he pulls a stone dagger from his waist and puts it to your throat. "You see, my child, no one leaves the kingdom. No one disrespects me, not even my own blood. You will pay for your transgressions. But don't worry." And as he says this, he kind of takes the knife and pulls your chin up, looking at him. He says, "I'm not going to kill you, Amara. That would be too easy. I'm just going to make you hurt for a very, very long time." And as he says this, he throws the dagger into the air, flipping it, catching it in his hand, and slams it down into your right thigh. You feel the dagger pierce your flesh, and as you let out a scream in pain, your vision flashes again. You're now on a battlefield, your hands covered in blood, your long sword cold to the touch. As you look around, you do not see any enemies. And as your vision clears, It's not a battlefield, it's a town. You're surrounded by corpses of villagers, women, children, men, all laying at your feet. As you look up, you can see homes, businesses being lit on fire from your father's army. The sound of villagers' screams fill the air. One of your father's soldiers runs up towards you.
Queen Amara, the town is now yours. Looks like you did a fine job yourself, I see.
As he says this, pointing towards the corpses at your feet.
As she finally like comes to realize it, she's like looking down at her hands, but then she kind of starts to shake a bit. And then she like starts to shake her head as well, and she says, No. This can't be. I would never do such a thing. And
he looks at you and he says,
Well, whatever you say, my queen.
and as you look down, you can see the corpses' mangled bodies. They all begin to twist and morph themselves into an image of your father's face.
I told you, Amara, you are and always will be a Stana.
Looking back up, you can see the full force of not your father's army, but your own. They're all gathered en masse, chanting your name, some of them holding decapitated heads of villagers, others caked in blood.
All hail Queen Amara Stana!
The crowd erupts into cheers, and as you look around, realizing the horrors you've committed, you feel your body once more take on the watering form. You rush away from the town, back through the river and stream, back into the tent by the fire. Your spirit is thrust back into your body. As you look over yourself, making sure that you are actually really back, you feel a prick on your shoulder. You pull back your arm with instinct, and as you see Hesra over there pulling a small bone fragment from your arm, dripping with your blood, puts the bone fragment to her mouth and closes her eyes. She starts to breathe heavier, until she's gasping for air, trying to get any kind of air she can. As she comes to a climax and looks as if she's going to fall over, her eyes fly open with a glint of magic left over as it quickly fades.
Such a pure soul, forced to live in an impure life. I cannot imagine what it must have been like to commit horrible acts under a horrible man's rule. Melora tells me that you are afraid you will become as he is. I will not lie to you, child. It is a possibility. However, you just have to fight back that path of life, as you do with any other battle. There might be bumps along the way, yes, but if you hold that connection that you have with the Platinum Dragon himself close to you, you will be just fine, Amara. Bahamut does not give just anyone his divine powers. Those that wield his magic can do so for a reason. Take comfort in that.
She bows her head towards you.
And she nods and she kind of like whispers under her breath. She's like, "Thank you." Just kind of like looks away a bit and she says, "Thank you."
You are welcome, child.
And you start making your way outside of the tent. You all see Amara making her way outside of this tent, all of you knowing the impact of what you saw having on yourself. Can only imagine what it must have on her as well. And with that, we are at 11 o'clock, people. We are done for the night.
I'm just glad that we got through all of them tonight.
Yeah. I wanted to get through all of them, and luckily we did. So that is going to be it for the night. Real quick, how'd you guys like the individual RP? You guys like it?
Yeah,
That's fucking good, man.
It was
it
so
was awesome. Fucking awesome.
Awesome. I had the idea for a while, and I'm glad I got to put pen to paper. It was a lot of fun writing because a little bit more of like a dream sequence hallucination. So I could have a 400-foot tall Goliath. I could have, your body bursting into flame and all this cool shit. It was great. It was super fun. Decapitated corpse talking to Thar'dia. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed writing it. But that is going to be it for us for the night. We will be back next Friday, as always, as long as nothing comes in the way. If something comes up to where we can't make it, we will try to let you guys know as soon as possible through all of our social media outlets, which I will say are now actually online. Look down on the channel below. You can see our Twitter, our Facebook, our YouTube, as well as you can find us here. All of our art and backstories and all the good stuff's down there. Channel's branded to the max. So any episodes that you have missed, you can either watch
Except the last one.
Except the last one, because I forgot to record it because I'm bad. But I did give a brief summary of what happened in that last episode at the start of this episode, so you can watch that when I upload it. But you can watch all the rest of the episodes on Twitch or on YouTube now. And yeah, with that, we'll be back next Friday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central Time. Whatever that time is for you, make sure you do your conversions correctly. And thanks for anybody who's watching. We have Auto Exec in here right now. Been in here for quite a while. Appreciate you for watching us, man. And hopefully we see you back next week and catch us on again. So other than that, anybody got anything else to say?
No.
No.
All right, social media is up. Thaudak is going to be handling, or Thaudak Matt is going to be handling most of that. So, if you have a question or anything, we have our, well, I haven't posted the email. I'll get that posted. But you can send us an email.
It's
you can
randomrollsdnd@gmail.com.
and that's D&D, the letters DND, correct?
Yes.
Yep. All right, so you can send us an email there. You can hit us up on Twitter, on Facebook, anything like that. Other than that, we will see you guys next Friday and pick up the story from here. So with that, we will say goodbye for the night and catch you guys then. See you guys later.
All right.
Right.
Until next time.
See you fuckers later.
Bye.